All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Welcome. And yes, the title is real. I've actually had to explain this a couple of times because people are like, what do you mean tariffs are canceled? And literally, a federal trade court yesterday, a panel of 3 judges, they have deemed Trump's use of emergency powers to enact tariffs as illegal. So we were up by like 1-5, 1-7, and then it's kind of chilling out because most people are realizing like Donald Trump isn't going to back down and there's other things they could do, but we've been talking about it. There's a little bit of a bullish impetus because of how it's playing out, but this just adds a lot of uncertainty. I will tell you guys this, if you missed yesterday's watch list, long story short, man, what just happened is big. It was a random, unexpected event. And quite frankly, if this does lead to tariffs being stopped, that is a structural shift. That is the big thing you would be unwinding from the beginning of this year. So it's very fascinating. We'll see where it's at. You had Nvidia earnings. And again, if you heard the watch list, I'll tell you where not to go on some of these plays. And then we will go from there. But Chad, we got 2 minutes. I have a couple of plays I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be watching Tesla, Baba, Pinduoduo, Nike, ONON, Lulu, HPQ, ANET, SMCI, and Talk. Talk has an Amazon deal. It's a small cap with pharma. But other than that, those China plays, I don't know how much is Nike up. So I'm sure Nike faded a little bit. But if you do really get a bigger pause, I think Nike can move a lot. It was up 4.5. It's only up 1.8. So maybe that will be one of the plays. So, yeah, let's have a good one. But other than that, Chad, a minute and a half. You might take you like 30 seconds to hear this, but either way, post your first play in the chat. Anything after the bell, please read the rules. Yes, you know the vibes. Let's go. I kind of need it. Tesla, CoreWeave, Nike. Thoughts on Elf? I like Elf, but it's up a lot. I think they overpaid for Rode. FOMC at the dentist. Tesla call. Good morning. Nike calls. Reddit. Long term. Nibis. Tesla calls. Nvidia calls. Netflix put. Might do a Nike call. Nike calls. Nike calls. Apple call. I'll guess. Nike call again. China trades. Long term. CP3A. Bull. Sell Tesla. Sell Nvidia. 138. Oracle. Puts on Amazon. Nvidia weekly. Lucid. First play is no play. Tesla. Pinduoduo. Good morning. Daily puts. Short me, short my diet, coin puts, Unity, PDD, Elf puts, weekly, SPY, Broadcom, Oklo, SPY, Pepsi, Eli Lilly, and the final place. Intel, ARM, Broadcom, long-term completion, and SPY calls. Let's go. All right, Chad, 30 seconds to the bell. So it'll be bringing by the time you hear that. I know we're going to have to work through it. So, Chad, have a good day. Call out anything if you need it. No more plays after the bell. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. But you've pretty much winded down half of the pre-market reaction. Does that continue or do we fade? That is what everyone's asking. And, again, the data, GDP and jobs, that is why the bond market is getting a bid right now. So keep that in mind. But 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, my thing doesn't ring anymore. Round 1. Fight. All right. Oh, damn. CoreWeave popped up. All right, so if you have those, the monies, the ones near the money went up, but the out of the monies are still clapped. Again, Bitcoin's even going up there a little bit, too. That's for June. Yeah, TLT, again, off of the data, jobs, and the GDP, watch Nike, and then, like we said, with Nvidia, get ready for the lag. So Nvidia is already up 5. What's that? Put it out. Oh my God, this again? Every other day. All right. So Nvidia, honestly, I think past 155 is a no-go. At least on the weekly or on the daily. That's the best I could give you right there. For now. I'm going to wait a little bit. And then CoreWeave is ripping. But yeah, and then Meta, watch Meta as well. So yeah, that's for now. I'm going to call it 155 too much. Anything past 155, I want it touched. Oust with another partnership. So wait for it, and then we'll see. Oust is popping up a little bit. The Oust contracts are already jacked up from yesterday. So be careful, because that just did go straight up. So watch out for that. RTX, there's a wide spread on that. Again, the core weaves, bro. Core weave is almost 10,000% on the original. Pizza's kind of moving up a little bit. The pin duos are up, but there's just a wide spread. Oh, and then the sweet greens. I forgot about that one. Okay, I'm still waiting on the video. Like I said, I told you which one to watch for. Right, I'm going to get rid of the sweet greens. It's 30%, but yeah, I don't know. I'm getting rid of the short one, or the short-term one. All right, took 25% on that. Not bad. I still have one with more time. Core weave again. All right, Nvidia is starting to move. Let's see. You just got to watch for the pump fake here. So again, it's either going to move right now or give it another 3 minutes, but I've already done my job. Because again, if you could avoid those other ones, you'll be fine. Again, if you could get a next week too, you will be good. All right. Okay, I missed it. Oh. All right, I didn't, like I said, 155 is too much. I would get a little closer than 155. Honestly, I would try to get something without 1.5. 1.5 is going to be the next level. Does that make sense? Any of those contracts with like 150 and above, we're going to need way more juice here for those to be in play on the short term, okay? Other than that, like I said, I'm telling you the where to avoid in hell, and then you should be good. So yeah, I grabbed one there. It already went up, bro. I whiffed it, and it just went up 50%. So from the time you heard the brrrp, it's up 50. That's crazy. So yeah, that's why you got to be careful. Mixed shelf, both. It could be both bearish and bullish at the same time. Usually it doesn't sound good until everybody gobbles it up, and then they're like, oh my gosh, there is so much demand. All right, Reddit's starting to go, and then, yeah, I think I did my job. The next one's going to be Nike, but I haven't looked yet. But like I was telling you guys, as long as you avoid those 155s, do you notice how they barely moved? So look, that pop, my plays went up 50%. But then the ones, like I said, 155, they barely moved. So again, I don't think those plays will not move forever, but we need to wait till you get more of a confirmation, and then we could go from there. So not bad. All right, man, just ride that out. You could get to spread it in a little bit. Yeah, core weave is killing it. It's sad, though. My other core weaves aren't going up. Oh, now they are. But yeah, they should be up a little bit more. My good play is up almost 10,000%. That's the crazy one. But still. Yeah, then watch RTX. Baba moved up as well. I'm surprised we haven't got more Baba. Yeah, Baba's up only 1.3. Like I said, those Pinduo duos, they all came up, but they're like right on the cusp. Okay, Nvidia's coming down. I'm looking Nike. But so far, though, a lot of the China plays and anything from yesterday, they're kind of whack. There's Nike turning up. All right. Taco Thursday. Honestly, I think the taco thing is just disrespectful for no reason. You know, why don't you honor your president? Uh, I don't know. Wild concept. Wild concept. Again, even like Joe Biden, we make our Joe Biden jokes, but I think people are really going out of their way to disrespect the guy who didn't really, again, at this point, I think it's others adding a lot of confusion. Ishiba talked for 25 minutes with Trump. So now, headline on Japan and Trump. Navitas, big pop. All right, the Nvidias went down now. Look at that. Yo, they just slashed those contracts. Okay. It went down a lot more. Now it's getting back to break even. But essentially, hold on. You might need to go up 2 more strikes. Because look, you're frogging it. You're breaking out. And the premiums are coming down. That's crazy. That's good, though. Because like I'm saying, they still have a premium. Ishiba held phone talks with President, exchanged views on tariff issues. All right, I got another one. Not going to take it, but I'm going to. After that little move, it helps show you where the premiums are at. Okay, that's coming down. Pinduoduo Duo's running up. Again, the Babas are coming up here a little bit too. Hey, Pinduoduo is just very wide spreads, but those are back now. And the UNH and Google. All right, now Nvidia coming down. I sent another one to watch. Those plays are all down now. Now the 50%, we should have taken it. But that went broop, and now it's down. Pinduoduo, second time I've seen it. Watch Nike getting volume, but no breakout yet. Yeah, there's Pinduoduo. Plays are going green now after a fucking whole day of being knocked. MSCI. VIX is on the high, interestingly enough. Oh, I need my other one open. Netflix straight dumping. Well, yeah, where is CoreWeave? CoreWeave. I can't believe it. Yeah, like I said, the premiums started to go up for a little bit, but then it chilled out. But near the money's worked amazing on there. Navitas, SBET, Bitcoin dumping. Yeah, Elf, dude, I don't know why. Elf. It's kind of crazy. They cut guidance, or they didn't include guidance, and then they bought a 2-year-old company for $1 billion. But hey, we'll take it. The tariffs cancel. We talked about it on the watch list. I think it's just going to add a lot more uncertainty. I don't really understand why they did it. It doesn't even align with, it kind of like helped Trump and hurt him at the same time. But a lot just changed. Pretty much. This is why I was freaking out yesterday. And, we're going to pretty much find out nothing's really going to change. But the problem that I had is that this job just made everything that much more confusing, because that means the last, 3 months of work all just went down the drain. If it is there. But like I said, at minimum, what just happened in the last 24 hours is that at minimum, it's a trade pause, whether they have to stop or not while you litigate it. It's either that or it's going to be a permanent pause, and this could be very good for the economy and then bad for Donald Trump and politics. So I thought that was absolutely fascinating, and that's where I think we are at right now. MGRX. Etsy. Yeah, Etsy's running up 5. Had a good day yesterday. Okay, the Nvidias are holding, but they're still down now. Like I'm saying, you're going to have to adjust a little bit. I like the first one I took, but look for the contract that is just dancing between red and green on the day. That's going to be the one you want. It's a little bit more expensive. So good luck. Why did the courts wait? I don't know. I mean, I showed you this a month ago. That's the crazy part. We just were laughing. I think I brought it up how this could have happened, but I didn't know. I wasn't serious. I've joked about what just happened, but yeah. So I showed this chart a month ago, or at the beginning of this month, May 3rd, on the watch list. I showed you guys this chart, and we laughed at it because I was like, ironically enough, the thing everybody's complaining about, that was one of the only things that they temporarily allowed. They blocked almost everything, and the judges are like, no, you can't do this. But then the one thing that brought the market down 20%, they temporarily allowed it. So we knew this was the kind of the situation, but then, yeah, they actually did it. So, yeah, here we are. Here we are. Okay, Baba is dying now. So that one's flushing. Oh, yeah, they just slashed them. The premiums are holding a little bit better, but now Baba, if you don't get a bounce, those premiums from yesterday will get clapped. Remember that pop? Habibi, HSY on the high. Oh, I haven't looked at volume. I'm pretty sure volume is going to be through the roof on Nvidia. What? Hold on, my thing's not loading, but maybe not. Yeah, so Pinduoduo is going to have big volume. My Nvidia didn't load. Yeah, Nvidia is going to have predicted 596 million in volume. So, dude, Nvidia is going to triple its daily average or double it. But, yeah, like, legit, right now, my algo is saying what? Nvidia adopts plan to sell 6 million shares worth 850 million. So right now it's at 77.9 million. Right now we're projecting 596 million in volume. So again, it's up 5%. That means that's a lot of volume to either buy or sell. Let's see, right now, most of the volume's at 141.76. What? Huh? Oh, I'm looking at Core Weave. I'm like, wait a minute. That makes no sense. Yeah. So most of the volume is at literally 141.76. That's 17% of today's volume is there. And then there's like another 11 at what? Another 11 at like 143. So 30% is between 142 and 143. So they could all either get washed today or that's going to be your support. Again, Hershey's running up here too. I haven't looked at Staples. How are they doing? Yeah, Pepsi's running. Core Weave still up 8, but kind of coming down. And Nvidia drops trading plan worth 850 million. That's hitting. But again, who was it last time? Somebody did that. There was a good one. But now all plays got washed. We struck too early. So now you're down 50%. That one, the second contract is still looking good. But yeah, you got to get through that. Actually, now the one... Ooh, all of them. So now there's only one contract in the money that is holding green. Every contract flipped now. So that's draining the premium on that move. Bad if you went early like me. Good if you haven't. And Core Weave still moving around. Pizza. Come on. 9 o'clock reversal. I don't know. Well, we've given up about 1.5 now from the futures, I'd say. Or like 1.2. So you've kind of given up a lot. Remember where we were at last night on the watch list? You know, we were watching. It was all fresh 2 hours in, but so far to start off the morning, again, this idea that it's going to be a back and forth. Still some murky details, but kind of looks like yesterday where you had the gap and then you faded all day. Meta giving up. And we'll see. Either by Euro close, it all flips, or just like yesterday, it's all going to go down. Coals, they were dropping. They were up 10. I think it got unhalted. Yeah, Coals unhalted. Nothing moved on the merger one, huh? So again, that little box in the bottom left, just keep your eyes out for it. Yeah, nothing's came through at all today. But if that's a merger one. Kirkland on the low. Tem on the high now. Remember, they got murdered off the short report. Nvidia flushing now. I think pre-earnings might have been a dud. I'm going to just double dip in like an hour. Or maybe 30 minutes. First shot, though, no good. EO running. Watch Nike then if they do. I like Pinduoduo still. But again, the China plays, they're still oddly just kind of like the SPY. It's up, but not like up a crazy amount. Yeah, Nike is about to go break even, bro. CLX on the high. I'm seeing more staples. They're barely red, and then healthcare is running up. But yeah, very fascinating. Okay, AI pop. That was a good earnings one from yesterday. Well, $850 million to sell shares is a lot of money for an individual. That's why it's probably being circulated like that. But usually, again, we've seen even CoreWeave and other names, they offer these like bad news, but then if everybody scoops it up, it kind of turns bad news into good news. But at face value, that is bad news. I wouldn't say that's a good thing that your CEO is paying himself $850 million. So, yeah. EOSC, CLX. BA, CRM. Yeah, Boeing, 2 big candles. It's like decent. Nvidia bouncing. Wait for it. TLT going up too. Costco reports after the bell. Remember, Costco's not really like they're not like a crazy one. Please do not post your plays, you guys. Read the freaking rules. TLT and then SPY going lower. VIX as well. Who's paying $850? Jensen. That's what literally the news just came out here, and then now it's starting to dump. But yeah, they're saying he's trying to get an $850 million pay package approved. Oh yeah, where's Tessie, bro? Bro, Tesla's only up 1.7 now. So yeah, bro, a lot of the pre-market move faded. Now you still have a long day, but this is what we talked about yesterday. They're saying it's gonna be fluid. This stuff needs to hold. Thought it would have been a little better, but so far you've sold everything. Not all of it. You still got a 0.5%, but then think about it. That vibe, that upside from last night is nowhere to be seen. All these names, they're going very, very. They've given back way more. Again, Tesla was up like 6% or something. Again, Nike was up 5. Baba, Pinduoduo were up like 3-4. Pinduoduo is actually holding. So yeah, I thought that was fascinating. But yeah, different, very, very slow dynamic from the last night. WPC. Well, I think most people, even Navarro, like Navarro this morning said they knew it was coming, and they said, make no mistake. If you think Trump was blindsided by this, he wasn't. And then, like we said, we don't know the full details of my big question, and I think that's going to determine everything, is going to be, while they appeal it, do the tariffs remain in effect, or do they get walked back temporarily? Okay, Nvidia bouncing now. I'm just going to hold that play. I like the other one, though. I'm waiting. I got to give it, now that there's the bad news in there, I got to give it another 20, 30 minutes. I need to burn some time on that one. First one was a whiff, but it's kind of holding. So, yeah, I'll give it a run. What's the world going to do when Trump's hands are tied? So I saw you say that a couple times. I don't think I don't think that's a worry. No one's going to hit America. Like why does anybody have to do anything when Trump's biggest enemy is domestic? So think about it. These countries all tried to do whatever they wanted, and it didn't get them anywhere. Now you literally got your boy, the judges. They've done more than Lagarde, than anybody. When it's all said and done. Yeah, talk's an interesting one. I like it. I haven't made a play on it, but this is the one Amazon made a deal with their pharmacy. It was up 7 in the morning, so it's still going, but yeah. Well, yeah, they're good. No, they will refund it. That's the thing. That's the crazy part. Per the court order, based on how the judges, interpreted it, if it's illegal, they have to return the couple $1 billion they already collected. So there's money sitting in an account collected already from the earlier duties, and literally they're saying that has to be refunded. So yeah, kind of crazy. That's why I'm like, all of this, it reeks of uncertainty. This is like the Donald Trump version, or this is the liberal version of Donald Trump. Because just how when Donald Trump randomly, and it was like, do you even have a plan? What do you mean 105, 150? In the same way, the way the judges did this, I'm like, do you guys even have a plan? This doesn't even make any sense. They pulled the Donald Trump in reverse. That's what I'm saying. In a weird way, this was a reverse bomb, because in the same way how it was surprising and shocking of how big the tariffs were, this was just as shocking. That, what do you mean? Does it get halted? Does it get stopped? And SPY running right now. So let me double check headlines. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Again, Nvidia, I think it's all Nvidia, bro. Nvidia's coming up. Again, premiums. UNH pop. That's going to lift up the Dow. Yeah, Dow's running. UNH. It's not even like a news pop. Just going up. XOM, Affirm. A couple of others are kind of broadening out. I will get you guys a checkup in 5 minutes. And we'll see. And then SPY just under open right now. Alrighty. Well, watch UNH. Yeah, it is nice to see the bonds. That was the one thing. Bonds should have been dead. That's the thing, because if you pull back the tariffs, some of that Haven bid should go away. So I thought that was fascinating, to say the least. Sell the Newsday, and I think we just don't know. We're still up. It's definitely calmer than last night, but we're still up near about 1%. And I don't know if the tariffs have been halted or not. I don't know what the waiting period's going to be. EcoWeight's probably up, I'd assume. Yeah, EcoWeight's up 0.41, but you got a little bit of an extra boost on Nvidia. No, I think the market has to digest this. Like I'm telling you, this is very uncertain. That's what we were saying last night. It's a very fluid situation. You're gonna get a lot more when it's all said and done. But yeah, this is a very, very uncertain way to go about everything. That's all. Just like Donald Trump caused a lot of uncertainty, I think the courts just injected just something brand new. Nvidia facing fresh sanctions from U.S. lawmakers. I don't see that one on this one. Company's too close. That might be a reiteration, but keep watch. Again, I think Nvidia reacted a little bit more to the Jensen plan. Huge Intel dip. Not really, but it's starting to go down. We're at the lows. Look at the market. So you just had 5 minutes bouncing up, and then you flip. Nvidia's just holding open. They're burning premium. So I would look at the strike prices, like we said, nothing above 150 really. And then, yeah, all of them are down 50% now. I got 50%, then they went down 50%. And then now you're right back at open. And now most of the calls are red. So pay attention to the change close if you are looking at that. Okay, Intel going down. Plug. $1. Up 7. McDonald's and a couple of other staples are doing good. And then, yeah, UNH helping lift the Dow, but Dow is barely in the green. $1, Bob. All right. Yeah, I think you're actually going to get pending home sales data. Most real estate data has been good. If you haven't been aware of the trends lately, literally soft data has been getting noticeably better. Yeah, pending home sales. So it's expected to come in minus 1.5. All of them have been doing good. So we'll see. SPY going lower. Hershey's on the high. Again, Staples and other names, kind of a little bit of risk off for they're getting a good bid. Two minutes. They already reacted today. I think we need to find out what happens to the tariffs while we're in limbo. That, I think, is the money ball. That's what I was saying last night. Boeing ripping now. So Boeing, new high on big volume. We already got some of those old ones. Oh, yeah, those have time. Yeah, so I already have some with a little bit of time. But Boeing's popping. Yeah, that Wall Street Journal thing is old. He said that on the conference call last night. All of that. And it's not coming across as breaking on any wire. So be careful if you're falling for the Twitter pump. All right. Plays are jacking up now. Boeing with the pop. Looks like something pending home sales. Oh my God. Minus 6.3. No way. TEM again, Boeing. All righty. Boeings have already tripled, depending on where you got them. 50% from the lowest. And then the old Boeing plays that you have with time, those are all going green now. But yeah, Boeing, remember, 207. I am on a delay, yes. So you remember yesterday how I kept having to tell you guys to stop asking me the same stuff? And then people thought it was funny to keep asking the same stuff. And then we had to get rid of the Twitch. And then right after getting rid of the Twitch, they complain even more. And then they start talking shit. So yeah, you got 15 more seconds of delay. That's what happened. Pending home sales were terrible, dude. I can't believe it. I thought it was going to be good. All real estate data has been running. So yeah, that's crazy. All right, those plays, bro. You just 500% if you took the short term. And again, we have old plays that are up already. So you have some June plays that you could get. You might be able to make them free here in a second. So we're already positioned, but you should have got that even with the delay. Yeah, bro. We just got to get it out the way. That's all. I thought I did it, but we're just going to speed run it. The whole, I hate you, Josh, this, that. Because I don't like it when people do that. I don't like it when you act all friendly, and then right when you don't get what you want, you start talking shit. So let's just get a speed run now. We'll stop some things, and we'll get speed up the process of the I hate you, Josh, I love you. Okay, I'm back. I'll get the long term, and then, yeah. So that's how we'll do it. But yeah, you still should be winning even with the delay, but if you want no delay, I would like you to follow the rules and please read them. Thank you. Man, those Boeing, I should have took another daily. I like the plays we have. Again, we've been positioned. I've been waiting for trade deals and then 207 on Boeing. Where the fuck is my play? Oh, Bobo. Okay, Nvidia. There's a spy. Russia, Iran. 2 question marks for oil prices. Yeah, all those Boeings hit. So whether you have old plays or short term, that was a good jump. That was a great jump. A great jump, even. I'll say. I have no idea what it is. So yeah, you can make them free if you want. And then look at bonds. This is either going to be bullish or bearish because out of nowhere now, bonds are starting to give up a little bit more. Yeah, they were a lot stronger. So I don't know if it's going to lead or lag the market. And you got Nvidia now going lower. Ooh. AstraZeneca, Mohawk. Again, Boeing is the recent one. That just popped. NTNX on the low. I haven't seen Elf. Guild on the high. Healthcare's doing good. Yeah, bro. Healthcare's actually ripping. And then Brio expect oil prices to remain at moderate levels. I know. Trump didn't make a truth social. Nothing, bro. He is way too quiet on this. I'm gonna check my Truth Social right now, bro. There was no news on Boeing. I don't even have a headline on Boeing. I just saw it moving and it looked noticeable. Now look, VIX is going up. You have not hit a low yet on the day. So either bottom or we're about to get some more sell-off, my brethren. Yeah, literally. Dude, he has it. Stupid judges, unelected officials, disgrace to America. No one said that yet. You see what I'm saying? We haven't got the clapback. Oh, Boeing at Bernstein conference. That would make sense. And then SPY going lower. So watch out here. Like you said, UVXY starting to ramp up. See if UNH and healthcare slips, because that's your leader. Now you got ARM down, Core, everybody. CoreWeave's actually holding up, but now Nvidia, too early. Piedmont. 2.3, it's Office Realty. I don't know what that is, but SPY flushing, you are into the low now. So again, 5913, we're about to do the whole level thing again. Oh, this 59, bro. You didn't even get above 59.43. You went a couple points higher, and then we just started dumping. I'm pretty surprised. So this kind of momentum, someone's dumping at it at this level every single time. You cannot get above there. So there's a lot of resistance. Again, PDM just gapped. UVXY running. Healthcare and biotechs are doing good. Nvidia has now sold off about, what, half of the gain? It was up at 5-something at one point. So now you're at 3.9, not too much. Now Core Weave starting to break. That was holding. RTX. Yeah, defense is doing fine. So yeah, the hype is really, you're about to go red. I know you're green right now, but so think about it. Yesterday, it's fading. I don't think the situation is gone, but I think you're just eliminating some of the early morning hype. But yeah, get ready for that. This just got a lot more trickier. It was already tricky last night, so I hope you remember. Yeah, Baba already, the China, I'm not worried about the China plays as much. Those are actually holding up a little better, but I think now we have a eerie quiet. So again, you heard everything yesterday. We haven't heard from Trump now. You're about 30 minutes into the day. We still don't know where it's at, and now all of the optimism. I think you have optimism in words, but optimism in pricing is fucking flying out the window right now, right in front of you. Well, TLT too, like I said, I don't know how this is going to play out. So bonds should start to get a bid then if we really sell off. Yeah, equal weight's about to flush. Let me get you the checkup. So Dow, are you ready for this? Dow Jones. Dow Jones is red. You have 21 names in the green. 9 names in the red. So bigger names are going red, like Salesforce and Goldman. NASDAQ, 45 green, 56 in the red. And then S&P, 304 green, 198 in the red. Suddenly, it all flipped. No, for real, though. Even then, all the premiums now. My Pinduo Duos went red to green, back to red. Same with the Babas. The Babas only lasted for a little bit. But yeah, that literally, any gain, anything just faded. But I think I'm chalking it to uncertainty. I think you have everybody waiting a little too long. And I think given the situation, you would have thought somebody would have said something by now, but they haven't. Yeah, I got out of the sweet green this morning. I got out of one of them. But yeah, I should have got rid of Baba. And we went too early on Nvidia. But I'm going to go back to Nvidia by end of the day. Nike, I didn't make the play, but we went from, I was talking 10% to now 0.1. What? Value's holding up great and healthcare. So that is one little pocket. But I think we got to get a headline on this. India well on track with trade talks with U.S. Piyush Goyal, minister says. So India trade minister. I don't know if that helps. I think we want to know what's going on here. Well, yeah, and CRM is on the Dow too. And Nvidia, ironically enough. Boeing CEO says going to be a dynamic environment for a while until unilaterals there. Says Chinese airlines are going to take deliveries starting in June. That's the headline. That's why it went up. So CEO says China will start taking deliveries in June. Excuse me. Again, the plays are still up. Staples are decent, but healthcare is the winner for now. There's a lot of winners, even consumer discretionary. Some are doing great. It's kind of odd. Remember, most of the day is good. You're just dealing with this, like, sell off of there. Boeing's ripping off of it. Oh, man. Dude, I was so fucking early on that. That's disgusting. Yeah, you could have, bro. I don't even know if you heard the news yet, you guys. Yeah. CEO says getting very close to achieving 38 per month rate for 737 MAX. All right, bro. You already got the plays. That's it. Just keep. I'm writing them. I haven't made them free yet. A little more. Yeah, bigger volume on Boeing. Yeah, it's off that news. I told you it. We saw the first pump, but now they're saying deliveries in June. I'm seeing. I want to make one free, but I'm waiting. Iran says U.S. desires to destroy nuclear sites is fantasy. Boeing! Oh, dude, I should have took some fucking dailies on this. Are you kidding me? Yeah, bro. That's it. I think we're about to even go in the money on one of these. I'm going to make one free, and then we'll call it a day. But, yeah, I got some big ones. I could have hit that bigger. Oh, dude. So, yeah, you could go for late-stage Boeings if you want. If you have the plays from earlier last week or this week. Those are all going about 100 right now. I'm about to make it free. Okay, that's making it free. Canada Prime Minister welcomes U.S. court ruling on tariffs. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. So, yeah, Boeing's the one ripping now. You should have got an early jump on that still. And then if you have any old plays, you're up. But Nvidia not working. And then SPY is giving up about 1.5 of yesterday's run. Oh, yeah, baby. So, yeah, you got an easy 100% on Boeing. The other ones now are up over 100. Both of them. You could have made 1,000% if you took the news right when it came out. No, I'm going to hold it. You can make the other ones free, but remember, we hit the 207 last time. That's what I'm waiting for. And then if it breaks 207, you literally have 215 in play. SPR going now. Hold on. That might be the next one. But watch out. The second one usually fails. Someone knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, watch SPR next. Yeah, Hershey's, just part of the staples. Again, I didn't make a play on SPR, but you can if you want. Like I said, it's all you, but just be careful chasing the second one. I think you either FOMO Boeing, and pay the fucking 700%, or you just chill and wait till it comes down. And then if you have the original plays, this is the level now, 207 and then 215. If it doesn't stop at like 209, 210, I think 215 is in play now, and you have news to drive it. So, yeah. All right, now you're making even more on the Boeings. All right. I know that Boeing was... I should have taken it. I could have made a lot more. I'm kind of mad. I was so early, even with the... I think because the delay, I read out the news, and there wasn't algos to chop it up. The news pop lagged perfectly with the stream. So, yeah, but... Either way, we positioned good. Shout out Bradley Frizzle. And yeah, it's a couple 100%. Good money. Make the most of it. Yeah, so 208. If it doesn't stop here, like I'm saying, Watch 210, maybe 212, but I really think 215 now. Call it a day. Straight up, bro. Another one. What time is it? 10:16? No. We need a little more time. Jeez, Boeing extends gains to 3. Damn, bro. You heard it here first. Even with the delay. That's 1,000%er. Bro, some of them went up 2,000%. Oh, dude. GG's, Chad. Gee, even with the delay, y'all crazy, man. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to let that ride so I don't sell it too early. But, yeah, good game. Bad Nvidia, but good Boeing. Yeah, bro, that's just taking off now. I'm just tempted to make them free. Remember, all of our contracts, we have time. We have like 3 weeks of time. I did not do short terms. That's what I'm saying. If you went short term, you could FOMO that still, or now you missed out. If you took the 3 minutes ago FOMO call, even those went up. So, yeah, but now you're just chilling. All right, and then SPY going lower. Boeing's the only real winner now. Throw in a couple of healthcare staples, UNH, XLV, but now UNH is coming down. But, yeah, Boeing was the one. And then, like I said, SPR, but that one's kind of a dud. I did not take that one. Woo! All right. Core Weave dumping? All right, now, Core Weave selling off. Boeing, dude. All right, let me go pee. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. GG's, baby. You heard it here first. Ain't that funny?
And where they're going to, they're definitely taking a little bit more shorter trips. And then outside of that, what we're seeing is that they are going to areas where there's actually great exchange rates from where they're going. And so, both things that make common sense to the individual, where you're going to go, where your purchasing power is the best. And that's what we've noticed.
So as a CEO who's trying to navigate this tariff strategy, how do you navigate it? Have you created a playbook here to get through what the next few months might look like?
Well, I think it's a little like the pandemic in some respects, where we're creating our playbooks right now on the fly, because a lot of the movements in terms of the amount and size of some of these tariffs are meaningful. And so we're monitoring with our team. We're having daily discussions about how to do best. And always, I think the anchor for us is to focus on the consumer, which allows us to be able to make sure that we're anchored on the right things versus trying to make any short-term gains.
Yeah, you're navigating this on a lot of fronts. You're navigating this from a consumer perspective. You're navigating it from international business perspective. It's interesting. I've heard you talk a lot about how a lot of your clients are also immigrant populations. Mm-hmm. How are they behaving right now, given the administration's stance on immigration? Do you see a change in the way they're interacting on MoneyGram?
What we notice is that a great thing about having a global payments network like we do, just as a backdrop, is we service customers in over 200 countries, 20,000 corridors, with over 450,000 retail locations and 5 billion digital endpoints. What we find about our customers is that they have a tendency to be very resilient. So as one area might be a little bit less welcoming, they're moving other places to work. So they are actually going to where the work is. We've seen huge movements in terms of the Middle East, for instance. I was just in Dubai recently. I think the population there's over 90% of that population that is actually immigrants or not. And it's exciting to see where the pockets are. And so in our network, what we find is if something goes down in one area, they get picked up elsewhere.
Fascinating. I want to talk a little bit more about MoneyGram itself, though, beyond what your clients are doing, because you have a lot of big plans yourself. You've talked about the desire to go public again. What does that timeline look like?
Well, I would say It wouldn't be this year, but I joined the company a little over 6 months ago, as was mentioned. And our goal is to take MoneyGram, which was a great company at one time.
So Boeing right now is tripling its volume by this time.
In the digital transformation.
So literally by like what, 11, 10, 30? Boeing has tripled the volume. Last time Boeing did this volume, it was the last 207 test.
Modern.
That was the last time we hit it.
In the global payment space.
So yeah, there's projected a lot more volume to come in.
How quickly do you feel like you need to pivot?
There's still a lot of people positioned higher though.
You are seeing that stable
coin bill making big strides in Congress. Wow.
Do you feel like you need to embrace it?
Oh, that was a fucking
banger. Do you think that's the future of payments?
Well, we certainly are embracing it in a big way. We actually think
GG, I'm writing it. I only made one of them free. I'm still writing that. No, we got time for a fucking reason.
Business, actually, we think about it from a B2B
and that's why too, man. Hopefully, the way this is why they're so exciting because when you play small, yeah, you could take. I whiffed on Nvidia, you could whiff on a Boeing. It doesn't matter, but when one of them hits,
settlements,
pays for the next 5 or 10 of them.
Our supply chain and movement of money much more efficient.
And
then for our consumers,
yeah, that one's a great one.
We're going to put a lot more money into their pockets because our goal
I'm
would
mad
be to
though.
lower fees and drive higher value.
I should have hammered the dailies.
We'll have to pick it up again soon, of course. Things
I
are changing.
I didn't want to get too greedy, but that news was there, bro. We had it early.
Just about 6 months.
Scheinbaum will wait to know the scope of U.S. court ruling.
Thanks very much, Shanali.
And then Boeing says quality defects are about 30% on 737 MAX. And then Scheinbaum, we know U.S. government will appeal court ruling. The news was that Boeing said that China, that was what it was. We saw the first pop, and then we were starting to look at it. It looked like there was just dark pool activity, but then I got the thing from the conference mad early, and the CEO said that in June, China will start accepting plane deliveries. And that's huge. That's massive. That's even good for the whole China-U.S. tension thing. And then, yeah, it ripped. And then he said a couple of other things, but that was the real driver, in my opinion. I don't know, though. I want to make it free. I made one of them free. I have another set up over to a couple 100%, but I didn't know what time. Oh, yeah. Core Weave is getting mollywop now. Then new high on Boeing. Make it free. So I had one set of Boeings. I bought the contracts at $1. I bought 2 of them. That was one of my sets, right? And then the play went up to $200. So I sold one of them back for $200, and I got all my money back. So now I have one free Boeing play. Ta-da! Because now my account, if you're on a cash account, you get your $200 back, and then you still have a play. And then that's it. The SPR kind of went, but I think it's a dud. Literally, there's only activity when I talked about it. But yeah, just don't. The second one usually. This is all Boeing and China deliveries. That's it. I can't believe it. That news. It was big. All right, if it doesn't stop here, watch 212, and then if 212 don't stop, I think we're going to hit our 215, but that'd be a massive day. So I don't know. You don't have to have a cash account. I'm just giving, it's easy to visualize on a cash account, you know, because cash, you can only use what you have on there. But I hope that helps. But this is an easy concept, for real. If y'all are getting baffled by the free share method, this is OG shit. It's very simple. You get all your money back that you spend. Be mindful of what you spend. Play goes up, you get all your money back, you're good to go. ASST. LMT now on the high. Good assist. Easy layup, baby. Bro, even with a delay is insanity. But like I'm telling you, bro, the algos reacted later. That's the craziest part. That our little delay on here, I think it has a... Maybe I'm just a narcissist and think my impact is way larger, but... Oh, yeah, that lagged. That lagged, bro. So, either way, we got a good one. That's it. Now we got to make sure other ones hit. Okay, now they're just widening spread, so get ready, 212. If that doesn't stop, man, I don't know if it'll hit 215 today, but that is the next level. My goodness. That might be it. It's still early. Okay, 212 on Boeing. How come I penalize everyone with the delay? Because you're part of the problem. That's why. Now you're banned. It's not just one or two. It's always the response. You guys haven't figured it out yet. That's what happened with the philo, and it kept getting worse. I make one little change, and then y'all insist on talking a lot. So yeah, that's why. 100%. Most people, it was the reaction afterwards. And again, yesterday, how many of you guys were just playing around? Let's be real. I have the chat facts. So it's okay. I'm not mad. But unfortunately, though, if we don't want to focus and work together, it does come at a cost. And get a long term, yeah. I mean, even with the delay, you got that Boeing news faster than anybody in the world. Literally. All right, you're moving up a little. I have an idea, but I think I'm an hour ahead of schedule. That's the only problem I have. And ready. All right, Boeing's coming down. BA fired. Thank you, of course. Of course. That's always great. I'm mad I didn't get more dailies, man. That's it. But at minimum, you walked away with 300% on the other ones we talked about. Or at least a free one. But, dude, crazy. Crazy. You sold your long term to get into BA calls? Nice, nice. Now for $4.99, you could make that joke again. That was good. That was good. I got Boeing calls and the long term. Why wouldn't you do both? You fool. Why would you only do one? Natural gas storage, 101 billion versus 99 estimate. VVPR you saw yesterday. And then, yeah, core weave, man. It's about to flush again. Where is the long time? All right, a couple things moving. I think it's still early. I think we got one more pump fake, and then after Euro close. And then Boeing still is a going. Damn, the long term's up today. Well, yeah, I guess I got both. That's fucked. Amen. Amen. Listen, I don't. Those ones are easy, you guys. But yesterday, don't worry about the easy bans. But please, I need some of you who don't get easily banned. I need you to focus, please. Just like yesterday, don't the long term and the talking about the plays and the gains and the rules. That's not an easy ban thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the people who are here and y'all let your guard down on the discipline yesterday. And y'all were engaging with each other on off-topic stuff, and one thing led to the next. So, yeah, nothing to do with those random ass comments. Those are easy. Those are funny. Those are funny because I get paid. You guys have no idea. I make a lot of money now on YouTube. Before I was honest, I always told you guys in the beginning, I wasn't getting paid. I was getting dog shit on YouTube. You have no idea. It was foolish. Now, bro, holy shit. All of these philo changes, all of the ban a mother effort. Oh, dude, it is profitable. Extremely profitable. So, it's funny. That's why I'm like, okay, but for those of you who I don't want to ban, and those of you who I feel like I owe you, at the end of the day, I cannot alter the rules to accommodate you or give you special treatment. And at the same time, I want you to focus and you lock in and don't fall for the traps. Today's philo is amazing, though. So I hope I could explain it better in a more positive fashion. You'll see. You'll see. It's a great one. It's a great one. Well, yeah, now I'm waiting. We got our Boeing at 5%. Oh, that's a different play. I was like, wait, they just killed the premiums. Let's see. I'm Boeing, back to Cali. All right, Boeing getting clobbered on that now. Yeah, they just dropped the bids in half. Bro, it just dropped $3 on that. So wait for it. There's going to be another headline. He's at the talk. I don't have the headline yet. Wait. So you literally just sold $3. They don't know what to do with the premiums. They're cutting them in half. But the asks are the same. The bids are there. There has to be another comment. I'm waiting for it. And then SPY coming down now, too. Low ticker picking up with a lot of things. And Bitcoin is what Chad's saying. I don't see the headline yet on that. I'm watching Boeing. I'm waiting for that. Again, the premiums are back up. They're just widening the spreads. So stock drops a bunch. They keep the ask at a dollar. Then they drop the bid to 50. And then it comes back up. They raise the bid to 70. Hopefully you understand that. So, yeah. And then Core Weave dumping, bro. Oh, my goodness. They're doing the same thing with Core Weave. Core Weave is doing the exact same thing on the spreads as well. And Bitcoin. I'm waiting for the Boeing comment. We could probably turn it on and listen to it, too. Oh! Oh! What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, you just got the peach, baby. Or not. 209. Boeing in the peach, bro. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, now you factor that in. Boeing is moving around, and you got Peach Nation. Oh, yeah. It's up almost $1 since the peach. Him's on the low now. They were on the high earlier. Holy. Yeah, and we're still shy of the shot clock and Euro close. It's literally only 7:30. We've only been here for an hour, and volume 18 million. It's a big day, but it might slow down as we move forward. But yeah, like I was telling you, you keep getting these, but I think we still have another pump fake or two. And yeah, you just got Bradley Fraser, bro. How you see that news, Bradley? China deliveries, bro. It's crazy. Bad play. Yeah, I think I just went too early on it. But yeah, I was up 50% for literally like 3 minutes, and then they went down. I think we went early. There was only one set of contracts that was like barely green, but then yeah, it wasn't there. But I think there's gonna be another move. I don't think we're over. I don't think we're done just yet. But first move, I think too early and not good. But like I was just saying earlier, this is the beauty of, again, that play. I think it was what, 40 cents. So yeah, if you keep it small, you should be able to stay alive, and then the big winners should pay for several of them. And I'm still waiting. I just think it's early now. I think this morning we had a lot of hype. I think it could have ended a better way, but you just literally deflated all of that energy from last night, and we haven't really gotten a follow through. Nike, yeah, even Nike hasn't moved. Where's ONON? Yeah, that one's red. Yeah, bro, all of these. NATR. That's just popping, just a liquid. Did Trump appoint one of the judges? I don't know. I don't know if these judges are appointed. I don't know who they are. Nobody does. This whole time, bro, I was telling you guys about the election last year, and we were talking about politics, but like, I should have told y'all to advocate for your favorite judge. Who are these people? And it makes it worse, because I'm like, where were these effing judges when they were spending money like crazy? When they were doing stuff that was unconstitutional? Not one judge was like, all right, let's fuck shit up. No, not one. So yeah, but I don't know who the fuck these people are. Okay, Spy, you're still just dancing around, man. Again, we haven't heard from Trump. We haven't even heard from Trump in like a different capacity yet. We haven't even heard from him on a different way. It's kind of wild. White House briefing at 1. So literally in like, what, 2.5 hours, we will get Caroline. That's all I see for now. That one's going to be wild. HSAI. All right, bro. Low ticker still advanced a little more. Remember I told you earlier, in a weird way, you still have more advancers. Yeah, Dow Jones, 19 green still. 11 in the red. NASDAQ, 55 green, 45 red. That flipped. So that got a little bit worse. And Newsmax, HSAI, both pop in small caps. Yeah, he's say. And then SPY, 293 green, 208 red. That got a little worse too. So the last like 30 minutes, things got a little worse, but there's still some weird shit. Hormel popping a little bit. Doesn't look like news though, but it is moving. Boeing just holding. Again, they're working out the premiums, it looks like. Tesla was up a ton too. I'm even shocked Tesla's barely getting the Elon leaving. That should have been a bigger gap up. Nice. Okay. You're coming back down. VIR. Again, small cap. Where's healthcare actually? Yeah, healthcare is doing just great. Doing nothing. Honestly, nothing is great. All of these names are green there. So get ready, though. This next move is going to be crucial. Look, Google just went red. Meta right at break even. Apple, 1/3% from break even. Microsoft, 1/3% from break even. So you see what I'm saying? You're going to have Nvidia play a part of it too, but next move is going to be crucial. Because then they're either all going to go red or they're all going to go red and then bounce, and then that's it. No reason why it's red. It just kind of, I think the reality, like the news yesterday was kind of shocking. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Is this real? What's going on? And then little by little, I think every hour we haven't heard from Trump. Just the reality is like, well, shit, they're still going to do something related to tariffs. It's not like it's over, but this did just add like a weird speed bump. And yeah, but no follow through. That's kind of been the theme all week. If you guys really look at it, last like 2 weeks, no matter what's been going on, there's not really been a follow through with like a trading move all the way down to like a headline and how it plays out. The average on Tesla, let's see. Yeah, Tesla, the average volume is 104 million. But today, Tesla is trading less than average. And it's expected to trade 88 million instead of 104. So even with Elon stepping down formally, this stock isn't even having above average activity, at least compared to the last two weeks. Yeah, Boeing held up, trying to go. I think everybody is waiting for Trump to a degree, but you don't need to wait for Trump. Like I'm saying, just read in between the lines and start looking ahead. Do you think this is over? I don't think so. I don't think the tariff fiasco is over. Some people are like, Trump could use this to quietly just take a win, and maybe he can. But for the most part, I think he's going to find some way, somehow, to just do what they want to do, because this is ridiculous. It's embarrassing, and it's this like we've talked about many times. This is another piece of evidence that just highlights a very weak state. This isn't state strength. If you're looking for the political term, this is very, very weak. And this doesn't mean Donald Trump is weak. This means everybody's weak. Those politicians are weak. Congress is weak. The judicial is weak. The president is weak. They're all weakening each other. That's it. If you haven't realized it, everybody thinks they're getting one up on the guy or the next guy. No, we're all just weakening each other. That's it. Just like even then, look at consequences of things. It's a broader weakening effect. It's not making anybody stronger. So that's where it's like, I think we're just going to have a long drawn out back and forth once again. Tesla pop in, see Nvidia. I still think we got to burn a little bit more time, but yeah, Tesla should be up a lot more, bro. There was at the very least Tesla, Elon stepping down formally. That's good news, and that's something everybody wanted. But it's trading below average volume, just like yesterday. We had big events and big stuff kind of going on, but some names were oddly just trading lower. So yeah. Can you ask volume for a stock? Listen, you could ask whatever you want. I am going to judge by your Chad facts and everything else you say. So that's it. It's all up to me. Don't worry about it. Read the rules and call it a day. But some of y'all are trying to figure out how to break the rules. That's your problem. Do you get it? That's it. What's in your heart shows. I don't think people realize that. You know what I'm saying? Your chat backs, all your comments, it says everything. It says everything. You see it from a mile away. Elizabeth says she's going to hold Elon accountable. For what? It's so weird. Oh, yeah, we found a lot of Western fraud. Oh, I think they're going to put me in jail because we said stop wasting money. Yeah, Trump did pardon NBA YoungBoy. I thought that was good. No? Yeah, but then the trade judges, they got all the... They took over the evening news cycle. That was crazy last night. I can't believe it. No Zen. You don't hear it? I think it's really quiet today. You don't hear the Zen music? Let's see. I can't hear it. He pardoned Larry Hoover too. U.S. judge says he plans to issue injunction blocking Trump admin from revoking Harvard's ability to enroll foreign students. So another judge blocking another president action. Bro, that's crazy. And then I'm going to wait for the guy because there's a delay. There's one guy who spent $5 today. That every time I say this, he said, the Trump can't do that. Only Congress can. So I know that's what you paid money to say every time. So wait for it. Watch. There's a delay. But yeah. There you go. I turned it up a little bit. Is that better? I know. It's next election. We have to go through, and now we have to be, we have to go through, and we have to, like, tell people to vote for their favorite judges. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. So, yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know that was going to happen. There he is. Perfect. Yeah. No, but this shit is wrong. I don't agree with it. If you're going to spend $5 to hammer that message home, I'm going to hammer home the message that this is getting ridiculous. This is why Democrats lost. This is why they keep on losing. Because even when they lose, they do extreme radical shit that nobody, like, this doesn't look good. Like I'm saying, this makes everybody look bad. Very simply. And that's what it's, so I don't know. This is all wrong, bro. Just like when we saw judges ahead of the election go after Trump, this is wrong. You know, obviously there is some limitations to what the president can do, and there is checks and balances, and nobody is denying that. But what do you mean of what president had this amount of executive orders overruled by courts? And we've just witnessed in 4 years crazier shit. So, yeah, no, this is unacceptable. And like I'm saying, this further highlights the point why, like, Democrats, I want you guys to have a better shot next 4 years, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because you're even watching Republicans still spend, and you're watching them go for their money and how they do it. But at the same time, you guys are never going to win if this is what you keep doing. By violating things and being more extreme once it doesn't work out in your favor. And using this small-time judges and random judges to do this out of nowhere, it's just ridiculous. So I don't care. If you couldn't tell, I make money on it no matter what. Look at my long term, bro. We don't give a fuck. Amen, bro. There's nothing. I don't care. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a way to benefit no matter what, but it's just wild that this isn't normal, you guys. This isn't a normal like, this is a very weak political state, and you're watching it play out. And why are we doing this? So yeah, good luck, but get a long term. I know this is exactly what's gonna happen. It's what I told you guys 4 years ago. And then you're teaching people Because if we allow it to happen, the precedent, you're teaching the next guy to do it. Bro, budget reconciliation. That was Biden's idea. You taught that to Trump. Now what's going to happen in the future? So this is ridiculous. That's it. Now watch. You're going to watch more competition for judges now than the presidency. If this is the path, watch. You'll see it. They did not do the same to Biden. No. And I'm not whining. I have numbers. Do you? Go. That's why I showed it. And I showed this a month in advance. And these people are playing with everybody's money, time, and the young generation's future. So you want to call me a whiner? Why are you selective with your outrage? Think about it. I showed you this chart a month ago. How come the only thing the judges allowed temporarily was tariffs? And everything else? Nobody after their first 100 days. Even from fucking Nixon. Not one president had this amount of actions blocked by a court. And Joe Biden had things that were literally deemed unconstitutional. And then he kept continuing for months, forcing people in the military and government jobs to do things to their body, even though it was ruled by a Supreme Court as unconstitutional. You guys are a joke. Stop playing around. I'm not mad, but that is the facts. Okay? That's why I'm saying liberals, stop lining up to lie and stop lining up to just, no, you can't defend this shit. This is weird. So call it what you want, but looking at history, this is abnormal, and this is what we're witnessing in real time. Spy popper. I'm not buying it yet. I want another play, but we gotta wait. Give me 30 more minutes. Otherwise, we just hold the Boeing, but you're back to VWAP. I still think there's one more. I'm not mad at all. I have not been mad in all of this. But I'm gonna confront all that bullshit head on, and so should you. Very simple. You could play whatever little game you want. Again, look at my portfolio. We're making money off this shit. Are you? I'm not mad. I'm getting rich. I'm not getting angry. We don't need to get mad. I do feel bad about the next generation, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit here and act or try to defend nonsense. So you could confront it at face value without being emotional. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And as I've done all year, I've presented all this data in advance. That's why I'm not going back on anything. And I've showed you it with data and with evidence and with history. So make no mistake, there's nothing emotional about it, but I will look you in your eyes and tell you you're lying. That's fine. And I'm not going to get bothered by it. It does not ruin my peace. I just know you're a liar. And I know people are doing ridiculous shit. And unfortunately, it just hurts everybody. That's why I'm saying most people are being hurt by this. Am I winning? I am. That's sad because I'm seeing through a lot of this bullshit. But at the end of the day, everybody hurts from this. So why are we hurting each other? I don't think we should. Peace and love. That's bad. That's the fucking Bitcoin one. And Nvidia's back to open almost. Agreed, amen. But that's why too, though. Above all else, all I could do is help you guys get a long term and help you stay safe. Do you see my point? That's what I've been trying to tell y'all from the beginning of this year. And even when I show you this data, people want to argue with me. Cool, that's cute. But all I care about is people walking away not losing because of this. Do you hear me? Is that not what my actions have reflected? That's why I'm saying I don't be careful of the gambling and they're using the news back and forth. Yeah, we could hit trays, but there's these tight little windows. It's all about the long term. And I'm even telling you, just don't be too certain. Save a little bit. Watch out. I'm not This is for everybody. I don't care who you agree or disagree with. All I care about is that, hey, if I have people in my space, is in my community, all I could do is keep y'all safe. That's the best I could do. And I'm going to do that. And you should do the same. That's why I'm saying with all of this, you need to get your long-term, start looking ahead. And remember, things are going to change. Don't be too certain. And that's why it's like you got to find a way now to position. And whether this gets worse or better, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure you're in a win-win position. That's it. And that's what I want to see. And that's what I hope everybody gets. Well, I think Boeing was last week was when I made the play. I made it on Thursday or Friday, I believe. Or no, I made it on Monday. And then, yeah, I don't know if we had the watch list. I brought up Boeing for trade deals. I never shared the exact play. I stopped doing that as one of those reasons. Again, I'd rather have people focus on the long term. It sucks, though, because those plays, you're like, damn, I could have made a lot on that. And that's true, but at the end of the day, you'll lose more money chasing the dragon than guaranteeing that money in the long term until you have a good budgeted strategy to pursue with the short-term trades. You added more ARK for the long term. You've been watching for years. Well, I appreciate the compliment, but you haven't been watching for years, or at least for recently, you failed to read the rules. Don't post any plays. I don't even care if it's long term. I don't want people to misuse it to try to pump. Paying the plug, baby. Starting to see some progress. Let's go. And again, just always prepare. If things are going good, I want you to think about how it could go wrong so you don't get overtaken by hubris. And vice versa. Things are bad, don't think that you're going to die. I want you to start thinking about the turning point. Oh, yeah. All right, Nvidia SPY, first time above VWAP in an hour. But I'm not buying it, but I could be wrong, you guys. So again, I think we have 30, maybe they're just pump faking me. I think we get one more downside and then it's going to rip. But I might be wrong. And if it rips from here, I'm wrong. But I think we get one more little test and then we get back to whatever we were doing. So we'll see. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to pay for it by missing out. I have my Boeings. You moved all your trading money into the long term after a big trade that got back all the gains. Yes, good. You will be rewarded, my friend. That's a wise move. Okay, Boeing, the premiums are doing way better, but now it's starting to come down again as the SPY's going up, and then Myrna on the high. Caroline is the same time as Philo, yes. So if you want to listen to it with me live, you will need a membership. ARWR. SEMO. Again, high ticker is getting more active, but a lot smaller plays. Remember, about an hour ago, the composition wasn't bad. 20 minutes ago, it got worse, but now I'm assuming it's back up. I'll get you a check in a little bit. Boeing's starting to go down. Now premiums are reacting. Goolsby Politics controls the interest rate. Boeing news was that they said in June that China will start taking deliveries of planes. It could do it. I don't, like I'm saying, I'm open to being wrong. I don't know. I don't think I'm always right. So I'm giving you an idea of what I'm looking for, though. So just think about what I'm saying. We're going on this path. It's not even euro close. I'm pretty much expecting euro close. We flip, but till then, I don't trust it. But that doesn't have to happen. Bank of England Bailey, there is openness. There is merit in seeking to increase the openness of non-tariff barriers, reducing. Well, that's good. UK, they already made a deal. And they sound nice. Not on everything, but there is a lot of things that volume is low. Philip Morris dumping. Yeah, Philip Morris into the low. I don't know if there's news. Check for anything political, but yeah, see if Mo and Philip Morris, if that gets bigger. So yeah, the SPY is gonna just have average volume. Right now, SPY is a little bit above average volume for this time. That's crazy. So even with everything going on, some of the volume is trading like nothing happened. It's literally just trading on average. Little bit, tiny bit above average. Yeah, Reddit is up 6. Good day for them. For Eli Lilly, I can't. Oh, Kanan! Bro, Keenan, you've been showing mad love, bro. Literally every week, man. I appreciate you. You don't have to. So I got attacked by the horn. Eli Lilly is trading half of its average volume right now by this time. And it's projected to be below average. NVO, same situation. Bro, there's a lot of names trading below average. Nike is going to hit average. Nike's trading average right now. Bro, Baba's below average. SPY's coming down. Pinduoduo will trade above average. And they had a big earnings reaction too. But yeah, bro, almost any name you could think of. Meta's below average. Meta's trading less than usual by this time too. Google below average. So all of them by this time, remember, I have all the data. By 10 a.m., 11 a.m., we could see how it's traded. All of them are below right now. So that means with everything that's gone on, they're expecting to have less volume on the day, but even the first 2 fucking hours, they're trading most of these names less than they have in the last 10 days. So EU, trade, melt up, melt down. They're trading less right now than any other point. Kind of wild. Give me a name. I'll pull it up. I'm telling you right now. I'm going, like I said, even Tesla. Damn Tesla is trading below volume right now too. And even Elon formally stepped down. Myrna, that one's on the high. That's below volume. UNH. Oh my God, UNH. Bro. So in the last 10 days, by 11 a.m., UNH would have 19 million in volume. Right? Bro, it's sitting at like 4.6 million right now. Myrna is imperiled by Kennedy Health Department. It may run out of cash. Well, they're ripping on that. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. I think there's just a lot more uncertainty, and yeah, you haven't heard from Trump yet. You get Caroline at 10, but yeah, so very, very odd. It is post-holiday, too. Nothing on Livewire. They had crazy volume the other day. Like, very unusual volume. Best Buy on the low. They had bad guidance. Look at bonds. This happened earlier. You guys remember when the bonds started to drop and it didn't really vibe. So now bonds are catching a bid and then stocks are going the other way. Yeah, it doesn't have to hold, but we'll find out. And then Sentinel 1, wasn't that post earnings? S. And then I think Core Weave bounced up. Kind of wild, bro. Yeah, Core Weave. Dude, it's up 4%. So yeah, some of these moves are still very large. I think Navarro said they knew it was coming, but I just don't know what they're going to announce next. Nvidia is dropping. Like I was telling you guys, maybe this is that pump fake. So we'll see. Because yesterday when we traded like this, it was down all day, but there was a little bit more in store. But now, you know, we haven't heard the update from last night. Think about it. That was at like 6 p.m. So it's been several hours now. But then we'll see where we're at Euro close. If this comes down again, then I think we could start making some other moves. Boeing is dropping now. The premiums are still holding great, actually. So, yeah, I think Boeing's moving around. See if it holds 207. It literally topped out at the 212. Like I was telling you, I don't know if it was going to hit 215 today, but, yeah. Tee up. I got you, bro. I'm going to use your membership to go buy the tea. So you got to buy another one. $4.99, baby. $5.99 if you're using an iPhone, I think. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Nike, well, there goes 10%. Team just had a flush and then bounced. Nothing on Nike, no. Nothing on anything. That's the crazy. We heard from Boeing. Boeing had breaking news today on the China deliveries. But, yeah, other than that, we technically haven't heard on anything. Not one of these trade developments has been furthered in any capacity. So I thought that was interesting. Thank you for what you do, man. Thank you for all the years of not getting banned, my brother. Amen. Amen. I don't think it's eerily quiet. People might just, be impatient. But we don't know what's going to happen. The quiet is just quiet. But you generally cannot really forecast what homeboy is going to do. But you do know he's probably going to keep going on the Trump tariff plan. But yeah, for a guy who goes on Truth Social almost immediately, I think I am pretty surprised I haven't heard from him this morning. But like we talked about last night, it's good at face value, all of this today, but it's also very uncertain now. We have another combination, another number as part of the combo lock. So now there's a lot of combinations that can occur. And next, there's Nvidia. I don't know. We got 19 more minutes till Euro close. Yeah. I think Caroline. That's your best bet right now. So Caroline comes out at 10, 11, 12, 1. 1 Eastern, you get Caroline Levitt. That might be your best shot at hearing an update. You get what I'm saying? They ask her a question or she gives a breakdown. You heard from Navarro this morning, and he said if you think Trump didn't know it was coming, you're wrong. But other than that, I think that might be your best shot unless you get a Truth Social out of nowhere. Netanyahu says Israel accepts Witkoff's ceasefire. I think that's old. Yeah, that is. But not bad. SMCI live announcement in 18 minutes. What are they announcing? Okay, bonds again. So watch, the first one brought him down. HY. Yo, HY? What is this? It's up 1.6. It's not loading. Mad a liquid. Heister. I have no idea what it is. There's only one cheap contract if you want it. So good luck. I'll leave it for you. No idea what is going on. And then nothing on the merger wire moved, huh? Yeah, look, this thing's been dry. Like I told you, that was, you sacrificed the Twitch, but you got a merger wire. If you see this thing move, that somebody's buying something. Oh, Zio, bro. Didn't they buy somebody? They bought somebody or got like an investment today. I forgot. We read that in the morning. SPY coming down. So again, bonds up, SPY down. In the morning, they ran together and then bonds ripped and then it died. But then they both went. So watch what happens here and then get ready. Euro close in 15 minutes. Would we ever go back to Twitch? We'll do that. We'll talk about it at the end of the quarter, like everybody else. Harvard judge to expand block on President Trump ban. You already heard that. But they're doing it again. Of talk? Oh, I haven't looked at it. I don't have a play on that one, but that one's still going. If I make a play, I'm going to ruin it, so I'll let you guys have it. Projected volume is 15 million. So it's already doing, usually by this time, it does 338,000 in volume. And it's already done 3.8 million. Okay, now bonds, so see what happens here. And we're still waiting on the Euro close. Excuse me. ALZM, we saw that earlier. Yeah, BH on the low, Bosch. Another small. This one was from yesterday. And then tack, not talk. No, why is the meditation music so quiet? Yeah. There you go. Maybe you guys need to turn it up a little bit. How about now? Treasury cut size of upcoming 6-week auction. That's great. But it's short term. Sounds like Operation Twist. That's probably going to be the next step. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. I think I was just early, you guys. Operation Twist is going to happen. I think that's what's brewing next. But I still don't know what's going to happen with the trade shit now. Like we said, we got to figure out if anything gets halted temporarily, short-term or long-term block. That's what we got to really figure out. Boeing's trying to climb back up again. Apple on the low. Hot dog. So look, SPY's kind of holding. I think Nvidia is getting a candle. Like I told you got to watch if everybody... Honestly, Microsoft and Apple coming down. Everybody else is holding. He's going to come out swinging. He might, but he could also just win. That's the other part. Like, I've heard people, I think they're coping and they're hoping he does it, but it is kind of in the realm of possibility. You got to realize, why doesn't Donald Trump just be like, you know what? They blocked me. Blame the judges. And then you still hammer home a crazy spending bill. And then now there's nothing bearish. That's it. So in a weird way, he could just walk away from all of this drama, and then you could blame the Democratic judges kind of stepping out, doing whatever they wanted to do. And there you go. So I think some people deep down hope he does that. I don't think he will, but it is in the realm of possibility. Other than that, the response is a brewing, and that is what we got to wait for. All right, still coming down. 10 more minutes till Euro close. Bond auctions, size is getting reduced on the short end. And then, yeah, you're going up. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Real Coat News on Twitter. Have a good day. I'll BRB.
Pretty flat, notwithstanding the loosening of the fiscal rules in Germany. But it's hard for me right now, and maybe you can help me, outside of data centers and the AI craze, what the vitality is for the U.S. economy going forward. So I have a pretty downbeat.
Consumer confidence has deteriorated, but consumer spending hasn't fallen off too hard.
Well, you just had a big downward revision to first quarter consumer spending. That came out today.
But it was still growing, 1.2%.
Okay, 1.2%, Sarah, when I started in the business back in the mid-'80s, we would have classified as stall speed. So if you're talking 1% growth in the consumer, I wouldn't be cheerleading on the sidelines. That's pretty tepid, especially by the standards of the historical trend. And we know the last retail sales number was pretty putrid. And then we know there's been all sorts of distortions, a lot of pre-tariff buying that's been going on. The consumer is actually not contracting, you're right, but it is slowing down. But look, we got the pending home sale numbers today. I know you had somebody on earlier talking about what they expect for May, but I can tell you that the trend is unmistakably weak, and that's a leading indicator of the housing market. And the housing market is still the quintessential leading indicator for the economy. And the pending home sale numbers today, I mean, you can talk about what your estimate for May is. I mean, who knows? But the number we had in April for pending home sales was the fourth weakest in the survey. It goes back to 2002. In fact, it was lower than the worst points we had in 08 and 09 in the Great Recession, when it was the housing depression that was the dominant feature behind that recession. So I don't know, capital spending, you look at the latest CEO surveys, capital spending is frozen up. We haven't seen all the soft, the Fed differentiates between the soft survey data and the hard data, and I get that, but it's the soft data that leads the hard data. And actually, when we look at all the survey data and we amalgamate it into a GDP model, it's suggesting that we're going to have negative growth, negative GDP between now and the end of the year. And that's going to come as a very big surprise for the Fed and for the markets that have basically all but priced out a recessionary scenario.
Is that an environment in which, David, the Fed can't afford to cut in the back half?
I think they should already be cutting. They're using the two words elevated uncertainty as a crutch to just not do anything. And then you had John Williams from the New York Fed the other day talk about how the pandemic has caused inflation expectations to become a lot higher than it used to be. I frankly don't see a lot of evidence of that, especially when you look at market-based inflation expectation measures. Let me just say this, okay? We got the FOMC minutes yesterday for the meeting in early May. We'll see the extent to which that's stale at this point. But look at what the Fed staff economists told us right off the bat. They downgraded their GDP growth view for this year, and at the same time said outright, and this is very rare for a generally very cheery bunch, they said that the risk of recession is as high as their base case forecast, which they just lowered.
They were wrong last time they said that, though.
Pardon me?
They were wrong last time they said that, recession.
I'm not saying that what they say is gospel, but what I am saying is that they have access to models that most people on Wall Street don't have. And I'm not going to say that they're going to be correct. However, if I was on the FOMC and I was listening to my own staff economists, I wouldn't be wasting time cutting interest rates. This is not a situation where the funds rate is at or below neutral. And the Fed keeps on telling you that we are being deliberately tight. Tight for what reason?
Back.
The Fed staff forecast shows that the output gap is going to widen, not just widen, but widen significantly, not just this year and not just next year, but into 2027. So they're telling you that we're going to be getting more idle capacity in the industrial sector and the labor market. That is going to put downward pressure on inflation. Now, we're going to get wiggles depending on what happens with tariffs or not happens with tariffs, but the fundamental supply-demand backdrop, if you look at what the Fed staffer said, is that inflation won't be a straight line, but the underlying trend is going to be down. I think it will surprise a lot of people to the downside. I think the economy,
now
and it
this
doesn't
time,
mean, as you said at the outset, that there's not
you
areas
could go
to
a little
invest,
further
even
out
for
the
that
money,
weak economic backdrop.
but you got to get
But I do
time. You
think
could
that
go average
I'm
on the
very
short term
bullish
if you
on the
want,
Treasury market. It
but
is
it's going to be more
contested,
risky.
maligned,
So I went a little
underinvested,
further
massive
out of the
short
price
positions. Everybody
range,
thinks that
but I got
we're going to
more
5.5
time.
or 6%
just
on the
in
10-year
case.
note. I'm completely the other
So
way.
yeah,
So
that's
the
related
aspects
to what
of
I
the
was telling
stock
you on the
market
watch
I like are
list,
the
and
bond
if you were
proxies.
locked in this morning.
Dividend yield, dividend growth with strong payout ratios.
Right. You also wrote the other day, time to diversify
No
further
longer
out
a
of the
chef,
dollar and add more to gold.
officially a
That
bookkeeper?
came after what you saw as the shrug on the Moody's downgrade.
Dude, congratulations.
Well,
Bookkeeper,
look,
and you can cook some
the
dope
question
ass
is what took
meals.
Moody's so long.
I love it,
I mean,
bro.
when you're taking a look,
Congratulations.
so the U.S. is AA. When you look at the deficit and debt to GDP ratios, the U.S. actually has the weakest financial situation of all AA countries. I mean, the big concern, the reality is that fund managers don't have to sell U.S. treasuries if it's AA. You're AA, AAA, fine. I guess the day that we get below AA, that's a much bigger problem. But you know, the inconsistencies that I see, you know, now you got people are saying, well, there's not going to be any global trade war because of the international court's decision, and I think that actually it's going to be difficult for the Supreme Court to overrule that. I agree with that. But the reason why the markets actually liked everything since the reprieve that we had back on April the 9th, and then we had the reprieve on China, then the reprieve on the EU. The markets are getting actually excited that all the trade war was just basically talk to get more deals that were going to be favorable to the U.S. Well, now that these tariffs aren't going to come to the fore, and most of them probably won't, well, what happens to these deals? So that's actually why the market's not really rallying as much as you would have thought. And on top of that, people think that fiscal policy is going to be stimulative. We're going to be adding on a lot of debt, a lot of deficits, but actually we're going to be seeing fiscal drag. I cannot believe the number of people
Look,
that even
Microsoft
come on
up.
CNBC
I think all you
and
need
say
is
that we
Apple
have
now.
fiscal stimulus.
And then
We don't know what's
RTX
going to come out
again.
of the Senate.
RTX
and
breaking
then
out.
what's
See what
finally
Boeing
get.
does.
But
Making
even
tax
out of the
cuts
House,
permanent
Euro
is
close
helpful,
in 3
isn't it,
minutes.
for corporate?
Stand up.
Well, that's Sarah. That's just status quo. That's just preventing falling off the fiscal cliff. So if you're going to say to me, yes, we're going to avoid a fiscal cliff by extending the 2017 tax relief, 100%. But that's not benchmarked against the status quo. That's benchmarked
Show me a lot of love
what would have been
Keenan. What do you
if we
got
fell
for
off the
me,
fiscal
bro?
cliff.
What do you
when
got?
you look at
What do you got? I
spending
hope
cuts,
it's good.
and you look at other revenue-raising measures, and then of course you got to tack on how much of that deficit is incremental debt service charges because
Credit
of the
going
fact
up
we're in a
now.
higher interest rate environment compared to higher debt. Well, those higher interest rates.
Okay, it's Euro close. It's still the same scenario. You're up a third of what you had last night. And again, everybody is accurately. There's something good if tariffs are stopped. Still a lot of uncertainty. We haven't heard from Trump. And then we hear from Caroline at 1. So you're moving up. You're just at VWAP, bro. Again, Nvidia is even holding up, not really moving. I got washed on the first set of plays. So other than that, yeah, we'll see. As you discussed in Philo, I do identify as a drunk with some recovery. I was restless, so my sponsor suggested I meditate in the morning. And you were thinking, I don't have time for that. Then you come with the meditation music. Good, bro. No, bro, you do have time. And I agree with your sponsor. 100%, bro. And I think you're Keenan. You know what's funny, bro? You just called yourself a drunk and you identify with it. Do you know I didn't know that? So all I knew about you is that you're Keenan and you show a lot of love. And I know you got a long term. And I know you're working on something. That's what I know about you. Ain't that something? Think about that. You're free, bro. You're free, bro. Amen. Keep going, dude. Oh, I don't know if y'all feel me, bro. That's beautiful. That's it, bro. That ain't you, dog. That ain't you. UAL CEO speaking. Nice. So honestly, you might want to pay. He might say something about Boeing. Don't be fooled. So yeah, watch UAL. The last 2 days, remember yesterday we had those conferences and they moved stuff. So yeah, literally Boeing, that was off a conference as well too. So see what happens there. But yeah, UAL on watch. Bonds near the high. Oh, Bosnian. Oh yeah, bro. Oh no, never mind. Then I'm tripping. I know way more about you then. I blanked. If you're my Bosnian, you should have changed the name to Bosnian. My guy. Yo, all right, Little Red. So watch out on Euro close. So again, I was thinking we bounce at Euro close a little bit. Now bounce might be very limited because all week has had no follow through. But yeah, watch out. Bonds, they're going, but SPY was doing it. That's your first red on the first minute here of Euro. So get ready. Otherwise, I think, again, Caroline or random Trump announcement, that's probably going to be your hitter. Another Bosnian? Well, Keenan had a crazy story, bro. That's why. I don't know, but Bosnia. A lot of y'all too, man. You know, that's the funny part. I don't think a lot of, like, I love it because every time I get into an argument with, like, a white liberal, you know, and I say white liberal because they always got something to say, you know, and they always be like, you're racist, Dad. I'm like, do you know how many people are immigrants in this chat? Do you know my parents are immigrants? Say, yo, that spy candle's continuing and Bond's still going. I don't see a fear bid, and honestly, you know, I think we made a mistake today. Well, not on the Nvidias, but that was one too. But currencies, yeah, bro. I would look at the currencies, because now the euro's starting to move, but I don't know. We've all been looking at this trade shit, and it's very domestic. But yeah, like the euro, the dollar, don't forget about that. And then I think Apple's still is going to add there. You could withhold as long as Nvidia and Microsoft. Yeah, no, if Microsoft and Apple come down, it'll draw down the SPY. Nvidia will help it. And then Google and Meta, yeah, Mag 7 is just coming down. We are flushing. I was just saying that first candle on euro, that just turned all of them. No euro bounce. No. Unless this turns really quickly, I think it's down. Again, I think I'm wrong. That might occur. So, yeah, you need a quick turnaround on that. Because this is euro close, but euro close is bringing in activity. But, yeah, bonds are still one way. And notice it was from right here. So, right at the previous TLT high of the day, SPY's been essentially going down as bonds have gone up. So, even though you had this little catch up, so one of them is going to snap. Or maybe we have a day where they do the opposite. Premiums didn't move too much. You'll notice certain place. SPY premiums washed, but that didn't move Nvidia yet. CoreWeave premiums are still holding. And then Boeing. Yeah, bro. The Boeings are the same percentage for the last hour or two. So they've stayed the same exact price. But SPY's coming down. And Nvidia 200 million in volume. What was the prediction? Okay, SPY near the earlier low from like an hour ago. Why has the hype died down? Because everyone slept. I slept on it, for crying out loud. Like, I think everybody just went to bed, talked about it. The Asian markets opened up, and then everyone was just like, well, Donald Trump is fucking Donald Trump. He's still going to go through with some tariff thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like we said last night, this just made it more uncertain. You know, I don't know what a fucking judge liberal was thinking, because you're like, yeah, we're hurt Donald Trump. No, yeah, you hurt Donald Trump. You embarrass him. You embarrass everybody. But it's like, no, bro, this just made grasping this trade situation that much more difficult. So again, even think about policy now. Like, what does the Fed do? What just happened in the last 3 months? So, yeah. And then you're here at the lows. Watch out. Like I'm saying, look, Nvidia hasn't moved. That was all of the other Mag 7. Don't be fooled. So I wouldn't be too dramatic here on Euro close. Like, Apple hit a low. Microsoft gave up a little bit. Google and Meta all did. But notice, Nvidia is still up. So, again, healthcare, they gave up a little bit. Staples did as well. But I think discretionary, or no, XLD. What was that? It's weird. I think it all just went to Nvidia, bro. Because that was the only thing that held up. A lot of things went down on that. Well, people knew this was in the cards. That's what I'm saying. No one thought they would do it. Like I'm telling you, I showed you this chart a month ago. People were talking about IEPA and, you know, the scope and authority of it. But they did it. That's what I'm saying, bro. You just had 3 randos be like, yeah, let's do it. And they tried it. And it's kind of wild. So it was really unexpected. I definitely think that was even right now, I could definitely say what just happened was very unexpected. You know what I'm saying? But the impact, good, bad, it sounds good. It's going to lead to unexpectedness, but I think it was I don't think this was on anybody's bingo card. Again, we knew it was in the scope. Most people knew this was being litigated because everyone was like, well, why did you temporarily allow it? Remember, that's what we were laughing at a month ago, and we were talking about, well, ironically, the one thing that these rogue judges allowed was the thing that brought the market down 15%. That's pretty funny. So they actually just went through with it, and they did it very quickly and in this manner where kind of blindsided everybody. But once again, call it whatever you want. I think the net goal is uncertainty. But then I do think overnight a lot of people just realizing, yeah, well, there's another chess move in play. What is Trump going to do? How are they going to respond? What do we do from that? You're 22 and you have 122,000. Any recommendations? Don't lose it. So I have a lot of things I would tell you. And I have some good things I could give you, but most young people don't realize this. If you touch a lot of money at a young age, if you don't lose it, then that's it. The U.S. says may ask Supreme Court to keep tariffs intact. I want to say that is old. I want to say that's from the morning. Navarro. So I will see. Let's see how the market takes it. But I don't think until we hear Trump or Caroline, I don't know. But see what the market does. But I think that's Wall Street trying to get a cycle another reaction. Yeah, asked to appeal. I'm seeing people talk about it. But yeah, Navarro did say this in the morning, give or take. Let me check. I want Trump or Caroline. I think Wall Street's just recycling it. I think they're trying to recycle a reaction. I'm telling you, this information was priced at least by 5 a.m. Doesn't mean we won't move off of it. I'm just saying, though. Yeah. So White House tweet. There you go. That's going to be then that's not Wall Street. No, I don't see that, though. It's not on the White House. Hold on. No, I think it's Wall Street, bro. Please hold while I verify your news. But yeah, it's not like I don't think it's going to cause a crazy reaction. But all I'm saying, I knew that by 5 a.m. this morning. Yeah, White House only posted on the big, beautiful bill. Which, again, I think gets kind of doubted with all this. It does sound like a rehash of Navarro. That's what I'm saying. But I don't see it on any White House. I don't see a truth. Either way, I think regardless, new or old, impact isn't going to be crazy. But watch. I think people are just trying to cycle some money after Euro close. But yeah, nothing on truth. So yeah. Wait till you have what? Hour, 20 minutes. We'll hear Caroline. That could have new stuff because she's going to answer questions and shit. And then you got your boy, whenever he makes a Truth Social. The tweet was a reply. I'm looking at whitehouse.gov, so the White House page does not have that. At least I do not see it. Like I'm saying, though, it sounds like Navarro. Let me see if I could get you guys Navarro in the morning. Bloomberg, do you guys have that clip? Bloomberg Navarro. Yeah, I'm gonna play you guys Navarro from the morning. This is what it's from, most likely.
Dr. Navarro, welcome back to the program, sir. First of all, I think we've got to get into the ruling overnight. Have you spoken to the president? And ultimately, what's his reaction to what we heard?
Haven't spoken to the president. This was in the morning yet, at like 5 a.m. I've spoken to people who have spoken to the president.
It's a long one.
Look, we're in a situation now. Big picture here is IEPA. We were using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. There's no question that there's an economic emergency with respect to both uses that we had. One is we are in a world
on 1.5
where China has killed over 1 million Americans with fentanyl poison. And we took this step to stop that. We will continue to press on that. At the same time, we invoke that rule to stop what has been 20 million illegal aliens streaming into our country, driving down wages, taking jobs away. That's an economic emergency. On top of that, the world continues to steal about $1 trillion a year, especially by the trade deficit. And that's an economic emergency because it's transferring our wealth abroad. So we think we have a strong case. Yes, we will immediately appeal and try to stay the ruling. But at the same time, the court, interestingly enough, basically said we were right, just use different rules and laws. So nothing has really changed here in that sense. We're still, as we speak, having countries.
Think about it. This is Pete Navarro next to the president on trade. But the thing I want you to realize is that this is part of like what killed some of the mood this morning. Again, listen to what he's saying, or maybe I'll slow it down so you can listen better. But he is saying how this is like, yo, nothing has changed. So that's different than the vibe a lot of people had last night.
Call us and tell us they want a deal. So these deals are going to happen. So that's kind of where we're at. And it's troublesome here because if you look broadly at the pattern, we've got courts in this country who are basically engaged in attacks on the American people. The president ran on stopping the fentanyl poisoning, stopping international trade unfair practices from stealing our factories and jobs. And courts keep getting in the way of that. The courts get in the way of our trying to deal with the border issues. Now they're getting in the way of our trying to deal with the fentanyl crisis. And that's where we stand here. And I think part of what's going to be important about this ruling demonstrates yet again to the American people that the judiciary in this country has been weaponized in ways which are contrary to their interests.
Well, Peter, you would have heard a lot of people come on this program and ultimately say you still have tons of options. And you've alluded to one of them. You will, of course, appeal. But could you describe what you might do in the interim, the way you might pursue your ultimate objective anyway, with the tools you have still available to you?
I'm going to let Jamison Greer, the USTR, inform you on that, and you'll be hearing from him soon on that. But I mean, look, any trade lawyer knows there's just a number of different options we can take. If you look at the kind
of... right there. Look, I know it's fast, but I'm teaching you right now. What did he just say? I just gave you the next signal. He did. This is how you guys got to listen. So I stop running your mouth and just listen. What did he say? What should you be looking for? Who's going to give you the plug next? Who is it? Oh, yeah, you guys are on a mad delay. Yeah, there you go. Greer. No, that's what he said. So he said the answer is going to come from Jamison Greer. So that's the next. So if you don't hear from Trump, we might hear from Caroline. Maybe she brings out Jamison, but that's what you want to keep in mind. That's somebody to hear who will be signaling on this topic.
Things we've already done to kind of give you a roadmap on that. There's all sorts of numbers out there. There's 122, there's 301, there's 232.
These are how they could go around it.
There's all sorts of things we can do well within the law. But look, we think that what we've done already is perfectly appropriate. So that's why the appeal will take case. But, you know, it's like, interesting enough, I was scheduled to come on the program today to talk about the bond market and the big, beautiful.
So he's talking about the appeal. He's saying, I just want to talk about the bill. But they're saying they operated within the law to begin with. So they're not changing anything. That's going to be their defense. Donald Trump, just like any court case, he's not going to say, I did wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. We actually followed the law. That's what we did. So, yeah. But like this is where he signaled it a little bit, but there's still another
tax bill. But there is a bridge to that.
And you're going lower.
And if I may, we have a situation where the bond market, we've seen like a 50 basis point increase in yields in the 10-year since April 2nd. And a lot of the hysteria around the big, beautiful tax bill centers on the Congressional Budget Office scoring that bill in a way which says there's going to be a $3.7 trillion addition to America's national debt over the next 10 years. And so, of course, you got to finance that, and that drives interest rates up and heads explode. When, in fact, if you do the math properly and you look at the history of the CBO forecast, you actually see about a $5 trillion swing to a $2 trillion surplus from the bill. And I'd like to just walk you through the math there. It's like the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, historically has been very bad at estimating impacts of tax bills. In the 2017 tax cut that President Trump did, they got that totally wrong. They underestimated the GDP growth by a full percentage point. And what that does, if they make that same mistake here, which they have done, when you add that, that's about $2 trillion of additional revenue because you got greater economic activity. And then
Peter, you also have the revenue from the tariffs, which I saw your opinion piece in the Hill. I just want to get back to the tariff. I just want to get back to the tariffs because you don't have that revenue.
Well, that's another $2 trillion.
If you don't have the legal authority to use it, though. But can I just ask? You mentioned Ambassador Greer. We're going to hear from him soon. Are we going to hear from USTR about the bridge potentially? What John was talking about. If you can't use IEPA, potentially you're going to come out. The administration say we're going to use 122 in the interim.
Airlines Q2 probably in the middle of 325,
which was interesting,
to 425 EPS guidance. So let me see. I could pull up UAL right now. Please hold while I get your guidance. So EPS right now is 386 to 285. So now they're saying 325 to 425. So they lowered it and raised it. The high-end EPS estimate on UAL is 450. The lowest was 280. So they lowered the bottom end and then raised the high end to one of the higher points. That's coming out right now. That's why it's moving. Okay, back to, again, this, and what I'm playing you is from the morning. Caroline speaks at 10.
But look, here's the thing. Fentanyl, I just, people need to wrap their heads around the fact that every day here in America, people die because Communist China puts 50-gallon drums full of these chemicals that come over to the Mexican cartels and then are made not just into fentanyl. They use the fentanyl to spike heroin, to spike methamphetamines, to spike ecstasy, and they're even putting it in prescription drugs like Xanax and Valium. And people are dying. It's been over 1 million people, 1 million Americans. And it's an economic emergency because a lot of those people are prime-age working force here in America. So this kind of court ruling, the judge, I mean, look, the lead judge.
But if the court said, if the ruling said, Peter, and we've been talking about this, page 34, 35, they say, basically, you are in your right if you use Section 122. Why didn't you guys do that from the beginning?
Well, Section 122 only gives you 150 days. So there's your answer right there.
So are you Section 122, if you use this now for 150 days, would it be a bridge to 301 or a bridge to 232? What are you thinking more long term?
You can be the strategist on that, but those are the kinds of thoughts. And look, if anybody thinks this caught the administration by surprise, think again, okay? Because you could see right here in the oral arguments where those judges were going. And the lead judge in this, I mean, the problem with that court, it's such an obscure court. But it's consistently been globalist, pro-importer, giving us bad rulings. The lead judge there ruled against the 232s originally and had to get overturned by the appeals court. So that gives you an idea of the bias against the president's tariff policy right on that court. But I think the big picture here is we've got a very strong case with IEPA, but the court basically tells us if we lose that, we just do some other thing. So nothing's really changed. I want to say this to the world. You're cheating us. We're coming after you. Deal. And let's make this right, because ultimately what's at stake here is the global international environment getting in a way where it's fair to America, and thereby, if it's fair to America and we restructure this thing in a way, we'll have just more stability in terms of financial flows and capital and everything like that. It's wildly out of balance now.
So there it is. So again, they spent the last minute, too, talking about the appeal. So again, he briefly mentioned Friday, but mainly that was what I was saying with the whole vibe shift and nothing changed. And even, I don't know if you heard him, he said even if it fails in court. So this is, I think, their game plan, is that even if it fails, they're just gonna do a brand new set of tariffs, motherfucker. They're just gonna do something else. So that's why he's pretty much saying nothing has changed. And yeah, and here we are, and now you're up only a quarter. So it's not as if the market has changed too much. If anything, people bought bond. Dude, are you kidding me? Oh, that was a banger. Yeah, they all went. Oh, no. No. Oh, yeah. One click. This is the one I had. Oh. Yeah, that went. Like I was saying, I was like, they went up, some went 50, then they got a bid. But yeah, those just went 30 to $1.20, $1.50 now. But yeah, shout out Ignace, bro. We're giving us the early word on the conference, and then we just started seeing it moving there, bro. Yeah, that one hit. Banger. And then GM CFO, I will expect repurchase of shares in the second half of 2025. GM, homeboy's gonna start pumping home the, what's it called? Man, the second one, I don't know. But yeah, GM buyback. Nuclear SMR. I didn't really pop too much. Oh, where's Constellation? Live to serve. No, man, thank you. God bless you, my friend. You did good. That was a good one, bro. You had a lot of time on UAL, even delay or not. But like I was saying, I gave you guys added details with the guide. They raised the top end, lowered the bottom end. I'm surprised it went like that. That's what I'm saying. 4% is very large after being negative. So good look. And then GM, again, same shit with buybacks. Premiums haven't moved on GM yet. I don't know if you need follow through or you're going to lose. But if that follows through, it's money. Damn, there's a lot on there. Actually, a lot of those GMs are going for more. They're pretty cheap. They haven't moved at all. All right, well, that's on you, G. UAL again. ALK now. Alaska. Tesla poop. Tesla poop. Honestly, Tesla pooping is better than a huge candle. So they were yelling at me yesterday. Oh, wait. What's the other one? UAL. Reddit's on the high, too. Yalla, habibi. Boeing failed. Dude, the time premium is up. Let's see. They went down another 20%, but still well over 100. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think they're just getting the short-term ones. They're killing the preem, but again, 207 is a great level to hold. You got to hold above it, though. And VMI, and then SPY's still in this range. Nvidia hasn't moved. Honestly, slow, habibi. Let us see. Core weave premiums bouncing around. Consolidation day? No. I think uncertainty day. That's what it is. I think today's really weird. Dude, last night was crazy. Even now, and like I'm saying, you know, the courts and even the trade teams, they're going to go back and forth. And some people are thinking this is going to change everything. Others think nothing happens. Trump's team is already saying what they plan to do if it gets rejected. So, you know, it's a lot of, maybe widening. That is a good way to put it. But it's a lot of uncertainty. I would not call this bottoming. It's like odd because the market was kind of already melting a little bit and doing good after the EU shit. But now we're like barely moving. It's not like asset prices have changed and you had Nvidia earnings, but definitely very uncertain in the sense of now you have a whole nother factor about trade wars that you have to think about, and that's the courts, and that didn't exist up until like 12 hours ago, less than that. So yeah, no, was it 12 hours? A little more, I think 14 hours now at this point. So yeah, we're gonna be on the lookout for Greer, but also Miss Levitt. Oh, it's also May 29th, bro. Don't be a chicken. Get a membership, dude. Oh, man, it worked yesterday, but I feel bad. I don't want anybody. And honestly, I can't remember the last time I called somebody a chicken. Seriously. I do like clucking like a chicken. I like doing that. I really enjoy that. But it's honestly a release. Very cathartic. But I don't know. I don't know the last time I seriously called someone a chicken. But Apple is dumping. Volume picking up into the low, breaking 200. And then SPY's going to come down with it. I mean, Tesla's up, but if Nvidia comes down, this gets ugly. Or Boeing. So if Nvidia comes down or Boeing comes down, this turns into a really ugly day. I mean, keep in mind, you have leaders today still. But yeah, Dow's already down a quarter. NASDAQ's still up, and the SPY, Russell's flipping negative. There the SPY goes. Bonds are green, and I do believe that equal weight has been negative. Yeah, equal weight's already down a quarter. Ta-da. All right, bigger candle. Do we have the word yet? All right. 2 points down, big drop. Yeah, no, literally. Now you got something's happening. Harvard has 30 days to respond to foreign students. That's not it. All right. And you got a headline on Boeing, too. But other than that, I'm trying to find this other one. I don't know. Look for Truth Social or Trump. That's 2 points. On big volume. This looks a little panicky. Oh, and happy birthday, baby. My goodness. All right, do we have our response or what, bro? No. Yeah, bro, it started with Apple, but everything now. You got big tech. Again, Nvidia is still up there. You have another, like I said, Boeing headline, but this panicky. Something's going on. Check currencies as well. I don't have a headline yet. Yeah, bro, that's nuts. It's nothing for now. I'm trying to find out what it is. I'm saying gold moved, but honestly, euro hasn't moved. Dollar hasn't gone crazy yet. Yeah, bro, it's kind of, I think it's just equities, bro. Or I think people kind of, again, just same theme from the morning, very similar trade to yesterday, but yeah, I'd be on watch, but I don't see anything, bro. I hate to break it to you. Keep up the dollar. Watch again if Nvidia and Boeing fall, then we're really fucked. But that's it. NASDAQ's the only one. Everything's already flipped red. You've literally given up everything from last night. So again, Pete Navarro, a few others, but 2.5 hours in, everybody is almost 3. Everyone's just kind of realizing there's still more, and now you just get more uncertainty. Crude inventories minus 2.7 million. Estimate was minus 400,000. So oil's gonna move on that, but dude, nothing moved. I don't know. I think this is just stock land. This is all just the volume and the action. They all just saw my recap. Maybe that's what it looks like, but this isn't. Kind of crazy. Okay, so VIX is going up. Now NASDAQ flipped. That's another 0.1%. Yeah, TLT, but nothing's panicked. The equity move looks very panicky. Nothing else is moving there. That's your problem. Just like yesterday. So you have the low volume, and it kind of moves you like that, but it's not like euro is already up, small pop at the high. The pound didn't budge. The dollar didn't budge. Canada, Mexico, none of them moved. Gold went up a little bit, but that's it. Yeah, UNH dropped. That affects the Dow, but Dow is already clapped. Dow is the first one red. Again, Apple there. If everything just keeps going how it is and then Nvidia and Boeing fall, then we're fucked. But for now, you've just unwinded all of last night. And yeah, now you're just like back to continuing whatever this was. But nothing moved fear-wise. But the 2 points in 2 minutes, you haven't seen that one in a while. But yeah, other than that, though, I still can't find anything. You did have crude numbers. That was it. Okay, UNH on the low. For 9, yeah. Well, that's why I didn't buy it at 12. I was watching it, but I don't want to buy it at 12. Because literally, that's like a $9 is like 50%, I think, almost. So yeah, we'll wait. But I'm watching it. I like that name. I don't think no one cares about the Fed. They even acknowledged it this morning. Again, ever since we've talked about it, but as of late, if you go take like all the Fed comments and then back test it against like rate cut expectations, they've literally had zero impact. So just like everyone has stopped listening to all of those guys. So I doubt that was it. Again, I think this trade stuff still looming over and hovering over our shoulders, but yeah, that was weird. And that was just equities, and we still have not confirmed anything else. Okay, we'll see, though. You're going to have a wild day. Wait till fucking Caroline gets on. And Jameson Greer. Celsius on the high. There's still a couple names there. NASDAQ back to green on there. That whole little move, though, flipped everything red. Like, literal unwind of everything. And now gold is going straight up. Still. That was your biggest move off of it. Even bonds barely budged. This happened yesterday. Then we got the chip designer news. It did. This is trading just like yesterday. From the giant gap up to the immediate sell-off, the back and forth, and now even like a huge random pop out of nowhere. So be on the lookout. And then Celsius, they're getting a bid. So is GLD. My goodness. Well, welcome. It's only 9:04. IAUM. Yeah, gold is still going. So see, you could easily be back down. Watch what gold does. See if currencies move. Other than that, that's it. Gold options going crazy. Dollar's dropping. So see now, if dollar starts moving, the shit gets more real. I would get ready. If you get a big currency move, start looking for your flips. Other than that, that's it. But that dollar move could be just because of gold. Yeah, but gold got a little bigger there. So see, that one's holding up. That's the fear bid besides bonds. But now look, bonds are coming down. Oh shit, you got an auction too. So at the same time as Caroline Levitt, we have the 7-year. I forgot about that. It's like 50 billion or something. So yeah, you got to deal with that too. Danone? Is this the yogurt company? They got some grant. That's coming out now, but the liquid as fuck. So good luck with that. Alright. Tesla, Nvidia. A little bounce, but still very, very weird. Welcome, Chatadonia. Welcome. How do you guys feel? Are you ready for round 2 of this? That's it. Have you made up your mind of what you're going to do? I'm going to wait until currencies move. But, yeah, or until we hear the word. But I hope you are all understanding the vibe. This is a lot of emotions. We went from gapping up and trade block to now nothing's changed. But then we still haven't heard the comeback. Is it paused? Is it not paused? Oh, yeah. Seven years is going to be right at the top of the hour. 10 a.m. or 1. Alright, we'll see. Nvidia didn't work, but it's because I told you guys about it. So that's why it doesn't work. But still a lot of time. The dailies, though, I don't think will hit. The ones with next week, I still like a lot. But yeah, don't complain. We did this exact move yesterday. 100%. Just bigger. Just more violent. Just because it has this. Look at the candles. This is way more uncertainty. Now you just in straight court injected uncertainty in the financial markets, and we still haven't really heard from the president. Only loose advisors who told you to wait for the other advisor. And then, yeah, we are still waiting. Caroline conveniently will be speaking today. No, the YouTube thing that's YouTube on members only. But I encourage you to listen to the stream a lot more actively instead of bringing that up. Because then now 5 more people are going to bring it up. Now I'm going to have to ban the next people. So sorry. I'm not banning you, but you're going to get someone banned. I already know it. McRib, Food 2 on the low. Low ticker's picking up again. Boeing fade. Dude, Boeing's below 207 and faded, what? $6? So the exact move it's up has already faded. 3 million put spike. On QQQ. There could be something brewing. It feels exactly like yesterday. But like I'm saying, wait till the currencies move. If you want, you could front run if you like. Don't listen to me, but I think you need a currency move to make this more real. It could be the rebalance. A lot of people have talked about an epic bond stock rebalance on the way. So that could be some of it, but like I'm saying, just what we've gone through from last night, there is a lot. Yeah, Caroline Levitt, nothing from Greer. Turning 29 today. Wow, Law Turbo, the 3 years. Well, to many more, my brother. Are you kidding me? Happy birthday. Corn. Bro, we had a dude, it was getting crazy too. We had another birthday in the middle of all of that, man. So happy birthday to all of y'all, bro. I hope you really do let your long-term grow with you. You know, I don't do anything crazy for my birthdays. I just long-term. You know what I'm saying? That's a birthday. It's a long-term. Another year. Apple getting volume a little off the bottom. And bonds too. No currency move. What level is this? So right below 59. You did fill yesterday's gap. So I don't know if that's good. You still didn't fill this gap. Or this one. So yeah. This is fun. That was 20 points, bottom to top there. So from here to here, not bad. Man, bro, dude, I'm telling you, just if you stack up and save till every birthday, that just means every birthday you're gonna get richer and richer. Do you realize that? That's the long term. Amen. That killed. No, China plays are still up. Not the options, which I'm pissed at. Not really, but we just had them in the morning. But yeah, China plays are actually all still green. There's little things about this that are, and then again, the volume is still wild. If I had 70,000 in Bitcoin right now, would I keep the Bitcoin? Or would I sell it for a down payment on a house if I didn't own a house? I don't know. But I have a weird feeling that deep down you know the answer. But I have no idea. I have no idea. No, I don't know. All right, all the big tech bounced with it. Gold is still ripping on all of this. Some people, you can collateralize Bitcoin, but if the price of Bitcoin changes, you could get margin called or foreclosed. So it's a wild concept to think about. Do you think there wasn't announcements the market would be higher today? No. I think it would be holding up kind of how it is now because of Nvidia. So yeah. No, we were getting down actually. AAP sold off 8 of their little recovery. That's crazy. But yeah, that's a really good way to look at it though. Because you should just be asking yourself what we were doing before all of that. Because that was just a surprise announcement. There goes Nvidia. No, it's still up. But yeah, either way, I think right now on this bounce, it started with the money going into Nvidia. Now it's just going back to Mag 7 or Mag 6, excluding them. But yeah, I think we still are. We're just waiting, you guys. I don't know if you've realized by now. Everybody has kind of been frozen by uncertainty. AKA, we need to hear Trump, Greer, or Levitt, or what other fucking thing they're gonna block next. All right, bro. A lot of them just went green. Is Google back up to green? They need 0.5%. But Amazon and Microsoft just went back to green. That wasn't a news drop. No. That was just a 2-point drop. It looked a little scary, but then it was nothing. But that's what I was saying. No currencies moved. I couldn't find a headline, and here we are. Don't have to say anything. No, they don't. They don't. You're going to hear when they announce the, when the actual appeal goes in, but no, technically they don't have to. Well, that's why this year has been so crazy, and we talked about it last night, man. The call of the year. What is going to make or break everybody is whether you believe this is going to be one of the best years or one of the worst years. That's it. And the problem is that you're 6 months in and we're still waiting to find that out. Some people are going early and getting crushed. Some people are being right. But yeah, it's kind of wild. But it is a giant waiting game and nobody knows the answer yet. Everybody knows we're going to end up somewhere by the end of the year. And it's going to be big. But we don't know which way yet. And again, however you choose to call it, that's on you. But that's going to be the make it or break it. Because if you're wrong on that, you're done. You're going to underperform a massive year, and then vice versa. If you're correct on it, that's it. You're laughing at the bank. So it is a waiting game. It's a high stakes waiting game, and we don't really know. Well, I think you got to wait. MSTR, big pop. Is Bitcoin going up? Honestly, it's not even that big of a pop. It just triggered all the other ETFs. So it's a small pop of fucking 4 different tickers. But yeah, MSTR on the high. Precisely by the end of the year. Yeah, I agree. I think by day 365 it will be there, but there'll be a bigger change. But yeah, definitely wouldn't put a timeline. I think the next 4 years will be crazy, but there is something about this year though. Make no mistake, I've been saying that since last year. This year is a very special year. So it has nothing to do with Trump. It was going to be big regardless. I could have told even if it was Kamala, I would have said the same thing. That's the great part about this. So give it some grace. Maybe we have an answer before the end of the year. Maybe it happens a month after, January next year, right? But at the end of the day, this year, that 12 months from 2024 till 2025, critical. And that is what we are halfway through now. And unfortunately, we're still waiting. And we're playing this back and forth game, which is kind of crazy. So, yeah. But other than that, it's going to be fun. IMNN, that cancer drug the other day. So, see if the small caps start going. I remember Quantum, but yeah, SPY's chilling though. Price action is terrible. And then the volume, we've noticed that right off the bat. It's terrible. So we're going to still have to wait. And now what just happened is, yeah, dude, the bond auction. But bonds have a bid right now. So here's the deal. When there's a bond auction and bonds are up before the auction, it might come in bad because it's going to have a lower when issued. Does that make sense? Because literally the yields are lower when issued. Literally. Like right now, there's a, maybe 7 basis point increase on the long end today? Or decrease? So think about that. That's going to be lower when issued. So it'll be more likely that it comes in higher. But if it comes in lower after already having good demand, that'll be even better. So keep that in mind. But yeah, bond auctions have made a comeback in terms of, honestly, that's where the downside started, and everyone worried. But then again, that's why I don't like what happened in the last 12 hours, 18 hours, because, dude, what do you mean the tariffs? If we don't know about tariffs, that changes so much about the fucking big, beautiful bill. Do you guys realize that? Because imagine what I've told you, the calculations and all that. So if Trump has to find a new mechanism to raise the revenue, it's going to be completely different. And it looks to be that they still want the same bill regardless. So keep that in mind. Yeah, 10-year chillin'. I don't know. I think the bill, everybody's spending, dude. I think the bill might pass because everybody gets what they want. Democrats are going to get salt. Trump gets his tax cuts, gets his savings account. They're all going to argue for a little bit, but it's not like people are going to get a lot of money. There's still a bunch of fucking money. But now, if you can't generate that money from tariffs, that's the crazy part. Because even then, the tariffs just paid for the fucking tax bill. But it didn't make sense now, because if you can't generate that much, now that widens the deficit even more. So again, but then if you have less uncertainty, can't Powell cut rates? Do you guys realize how uncertain this all is now? Do you see how fucking stupid it is? So let's start with number 1. And I'm gonna show you Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge said all of this shit, bro. So I tweeted, I said, Donald, what is the return policy? Donald, I know we make a deal. What the return? How you do? Donald, I have receipt, Donald. You can't even tariff, Donald. Come on. So yeah, look. How much money is that? 1.6. Is that billion or trillion? Do you realize you have to return? The court is saying you have to return all that money. So again, if you're like, well, tariffs don't collect money. No, they do. Literally, there's already money collected in a treasury account. You get what I'm saying? So based on the ruling, they would say that you have to return that money. So think about the deficit. Like we're saying, generating money and what they plan on spending. So now you want to spend the same amount, but now you got to return this money, and then you can't generate. We don't know. He's going to come out with a new plan, and he's going to come out with a new tariff plan, but will it have the ability to generate this much money that quickly? I don't know. So that's the first ridiculous thing. Then what's the second one I wanted to show you? Hold on, I gotta find it. Oh, where is it? Oh, I'm blanking. Meta and Anduril. It's weird. MSTR went up and then Bitcoin down. Remember we talked about that? No, that was the first part. I forgot. I just blanked on the second one. Maybe it's not that important. It had to do with returning the money. So you have to return the money, but then there's one more. Oh. It was related to the deficit. I blanked. But on another note, we had the data today, and then UK is expected to sell last remaining shares in NatWest Group. But do you guys remember the data today? You had bad pending home sales. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, well, guess what? Here is the fun fact. There is nearly 500,000 more sellers than buyers in the real estate market right now, according to Redfin. Did you guys know that? So I've been telling you a lot about real estate and the weird inventory and prices not moving. The new home builds have been going through the roof, but pending home sales today was terrible. But I didn't know that. Literally, there's 500,000 more sellers than buyers, but that's very skewed geographically. So in some places more than not, but yeah, but you've never had this happen before. So right now, if you compare the amount of people buying, pending, new home sales, shopping, to the amount of listings, there is 500,000 more sellers than buyers. The most on record. So that is like a tail, like a bond auction tail. And the gap between people selling and buying, it is the largest on record right now. So people, again, high interest rates, uncertainty, finally years of all of this, it's stretching it, but now like buyers are kind of on strike. More people are trying to sell, but then they're trying to sell at a very high price, and then it's out there. But yeah, it all depends on the area. 100%. Well, yeah, you have to drop the prices, but then what happens when they drop them? And then the first mother effer to drop is going to sell, but then it's going to start a race to the bottom too. But we'll see. Like I said, I've been finding weird-ass deals lately, man. I've been finding deals left and right, man. Like random-ass deals. Navitas on the low. Oh, you guys don't say that one, huh? You always tell me about it when it's ripping. Oh. No, you're not just hyped anymore? Oh, weird. Oh, so Josh, it's on the low. Oh. But yeah. So real estate is very, very wild. But some areas like Jersey are killing it. But like I told you, dude, these deals. So one, I found one deal. This person is willing to like give me a 2% mortgage. Weird property, I've told you about it. But like they just need to sell it and downsize. And even then, they're over. I gave them a fair offer. And even then, they're kind of like, well, we'll see. But they're trying to get out of a 1.9% mortgage on $1 million property. I don't know why. And then the deal I had yesterday, bro, this guy, I just saw this listing. It was on the market, and I noticed this guy I was like, well, this one's interesting. I have LT contact the guy. I didn't know. The guy is trying to avoid a short sale. So he's not in foreclosure yet. But essentially, he needs to sell this house. He can't afford it. But now, the house is worth less than what he owes. So he owes like 1.2, I think, on the mortgage. And he couldn't sell it at 1.2. He tried to sell it at 1.35, 1.4. Then he lowered it. Couldn't sell it at 1.2. Lowered it to 1.1. Couldn't sell it. Now he lowered the price to $1 million. That's where I saw it. And I hit him up at $1 million. But apparently he owes 1.2 million. So do you see the problem? So this guy needs to sell this house. He's still paying the mortgage, but he's already negative on it. So he has to, it's a short sale. Nobody will buy it more than the bank loaned him on it. So now the bank has to agree. The bank has to agree to sell it for low money. So that's why now I'm talking with this guy. I might just take over the loan for free. That's it. He could refinance, but he's going to need money, and the property is worth, he can't even sell it at $1 million. This property is going to appraise at 9 or less. So that's why I was like, I could take his loss, have a higher loan amount, but then I could just take over his low payment, low interest. There'll be no equity, but then I have no cost. All my cost will be every month I pay that mortgage. But if I turn it into an Airbnb, I don't give a fuck. So I just got a free house if it works. I'm gonna see. But that's my deal I'm working on from yesterday. But this is the second one in a week and a half maybe. Interest is in like 3 or 4s. The other one was 1.9, but this one's still low. That's why I'm like, well, shit. Bad equity deal, but if I could it will cash flow. Yeah, it's a win-win. His credit doesn't get wrecked, but he just walks away from all of it. But then again, he's underwater on all of it. The bank, he can't. Oh no, because the bank has first position on the mortgage. They own that house. It's the bank's house. They let him use it, but when it comes down to sell, the bank has to approve it if it's for less money. Because now, if he sells the house for less money, you can't just walk around owing the bank $200,000. It needs collateral. So if the collateral goes, that loan's going with it. They're not going to let you borrow money without collateral. Banks don't care about that. No, I've done it before. I've had somebody give me a house before. Similar situation. They actually were underwater, and they went crazy. They didn't want to live in America anymore, and they just stopped paying their mortgage, literally. And they gave me the house because I called them. So, but yeah, as long as the bank lets you, they'll do it. But most of the time, they're down. They just want their money. And they want that bond performing, that mortgage paying. Thoughts on house insurance, which has already been paid off? Do you like gambling, my friend? Because believe me, I think insurance is a waste sometimes. But after seeing Hawaii and Malibu, I would, if that's your biggest asset, I would probably insure it, to be honest with you. It sucks because it could cost a lot, and now you factor that into a cost, but yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with where you live. Even though, like, natural disasters is part of it, I almost lit my house on fire with a candle before, so you don't know what's going to happen. And if, like I said, the caveat, the qualifier, is that your biggest asset? That's the question. If this is your fucking treasure, your most important asset, you better have it insured. I don't care what the cost is. You need to have protection on your biggest asset. But if it's not your biggest asset, if you have it for a different purpose, then I wouldn't really, then it's more run the numbers. Home insurance is 1%. That's not bad. Jesus takes 10. So soul insurance is 10% tithing. I'm down to protecting my worldly asset for 1%. I'm down. Sign me up. This is not a sponsored post. Getting property in Vegas for Airbnb. Didn't Vegas ban it? So again, you moved around a little bit. We're waiting for the next step, you guys. Bond auction and then Caroline. Honestly, the market's just waiting to move it money around. Watch, they're not. I could even already tell. They're just gonna use the events to move shit around. They're not. It's not gonna even react one for one how you think it will. Cheap car insurance, just keep switching every couple years. And then bundle it with rental insurance. You give so many people the talk on short-term rentals here. I feel like a lot of people don't know. Second U.S. court blocks Trump tariffs in case filed by toy company. Bro, was it Hasbro or Mattel? Which one was it? I know it was one of them, bro. I'm buying one of them. I'm small, 10 cents. But I want to go for the spy, but that's a second one, but I'm going to play the toy company. By toy company. So let's see if the market responds, but that's an update. So now you have another court literally blocking Trump. This time, oh, the toy company is Learning Resources. Oh, no shit. Yeah, that's why I went for the other one. Learning Resources is the company. I don't know if they're public or not. Which one was it? There's one of those Asian education companies moving. National security and they're gone. Well, that's what he said last time. That's what I'm saying. They're still defending the same thing. But yeah, you have another update on this. Wait till it starts circulating. We'll see how people take it. I'd watch the toy plays. Keep it small. You never know, and then that's it. Yeah, none of them moved yet. Nothing's moving. What will they block next? I think we're waiting for 10 a.m. for an excuse. That's it. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's all an excuse. We're going to use the bond auction as an excuse. We're going to use Caroline Levitt. And then we need a real actionable move from Trump or the court. But now you just got another update on the courts. So we'll see. FAA renews Boeing designation or authorization. I think this is old. Again on Boeing, but I think it's old. Something with FAA. I swear I saw one of those earlier. ANAB. All right, Mattel moved a little bit. The premiums didn't budge. Alright, but yeah, like I'm saying, 10 a.m., that's everything will start moving a little bit more. But they're just going to use it as an excuse. There was right now, it just came out, the reaction's smaller. But they're saying a second court has blocked Donald Trump's tariffs. This time it was the case from the toy company. Again, oh, LRN, that was the one, right? LRN is Stride, but it was like Learning Something. That was the company that filed the lawsuit. Nothing going. It got really weird after that. But this happened yesterday. We had the dump with the China design stocks. And then the news came out later, but we went from crazy candles, fill the gap, and then look, you can see it on the chart. Right after this little flush and pop, everything just slowed the fuck down. So yeah, and then gold, but currency's barely moving. Bonds were up, and then like I'm saying, we just heard from the second court. So yeah. Pacific Legal. There was a name. It was Learning Environment. One of the Jazz posted it. Learning Resources. Yeah, it brings up LRN, but I don't think that's the company. But yeah, Learning Resources. I have no idea what this thing. Let me double check again. There's IMS Learning Resources. I have a private company, yeah. And then there are ones based out of Great Britain, too. Yeah, there's a Learning Resources company, but it's private. Volume was high in the morning, and it's expected to be big, but it's been chilling out. And then again, bond auction in Caroline. That's going to be the excuse. 15 minutes, baby. 15 minutes. Oh, flacos. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. My man. You having a good day? Shout out the long term. It sucks. I wish we got a little bit more moving, but yeah, that's it. Damn, Nets at 165 again? Good for them. And then Core Weave's moving back up. Those Mattels, nothing moved, man. We're getting nothing today. We had Boeing, actually, but still, besides Boeing, nothing. I forgot, Boeing was massive. I'm Boeing, back to Powell. Yeah, Washington federal judge pauses tariff order for 14 days. Fed says Powell met with Trump at the White House. Hey, yo, what does that mean? Look at the bonds. Yeah, that's the first announcement of that. Bro, Trump met with Powell at the White House. Wow, statement from the Fed. Did not discuss expectations. Powell said his policy will depend on incoming economic information. So yeah, watch bonds, watch Bitcoin as well. Again, currencies first, but holy shit. Well, that's new too. So you mean to tell me the day? Yeah, because wait, how does this factor in? So you're telling me the day that there is a surprise random cut, you mean to tell me that homeboy met the first time with the president? They discussed growth, employment, and inflation. Again, I think his policy will depend on incoming economic information. Yeah, because now they're like, that was the other thing I was going to tell you guys. Yeah, just think about the Fed. If the Fed was like, we have so much uncertainty due to tariffs. If courts block the tariffs, are you still uncertain? Maybe that's what they talked about. That's crazy. That's why it's so quiet, huh? Yeah, you literally had the first meeting between Trump and Powell. I think he wanted to know him. He probably asked him. He was like, so, hypothetically, if I said that it was blocked, can you cut rates yet or no? Hypothetically, hear me out, Powell. Jay, Jerome, which one do you prefer? Whatever you prefer. Hear me out. Hypothetically, if I wasn't allowed to tariff, would you hypothetically be able to cut rates? Come on. I know you can. Make it happen. Jay, Jerome. Come on, big man. Big J. Big J. Are you uppercase or lowercase? Make it happen. Powell said Fed will set policy solely on objective analysis. Who is running for president? All right, well, little reaction, but dude, in the last 24 hours, we have gotten so many surprising things, and that is another one of them. I'm telling you, that's the first time Trump and Powell have met this term. Otherwise, they both said, no, we haven't met. We haven't talked to each other. So now Powell at the White House yesterday, and that is now the same day judges randomly do it. And then again, 5-10 minutes ago, we just heard of another judge, a Washington judge, or a Washington court, also stopping the tariffs. They said 14-day pause. That's hilarious. Trump pauses to let Powell cut rates. Well, maybe that's what they were talking about. You know, it's literally like, I think that's why he invited him to the White House. And was just like, listen, Powell, hypothetically, if I stop the tariffs, would you cut rates? I can't do it anymore. My hands are tied. Look, they're tied. I can't even move them. Now it's your turn. Can you do it? Cut him. You've heard this song. Come on, I know Nancy. She's in love with the cocoa. You need to cut it. Cut it. That's all you gotta do, cut it. How about it? I won't tariff, you cut rates. Is it possible? Just tell me, is it possible? Come on. Come on, hear me out. Is it possible? Don't tell me, is it possible? That's all I need. Okay, we'll talk. Howard, get Letnick. You wait, fuck, you're Letnick. I mean, get Cook on the phone. Call Cook on the iPhone. We have called Apple on an Apple. That's funny. Anyways. So yeah, I genuinely think that kind of happened. Give or take a couple of things, but yeah. I think it was loosely. You could follow that template. I'm not excited to hear how that talk went. I'm excited to hear how everybody describes how it went. That's what I love about this modern crazy cuckoo-ness, is that it is pretty entertaining, because I can't wait to see what the media says. I can't wait to see what fucking Trump says too. And they're gonna, that's the funny part. But yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get very, very minimal details. And then very obscure once again. Powell met, now Wall Street Journal, a couple other wires are putting it out now as breaking news. Boom. Yeah, it's on CNBC now as well. Caroline Levitt in 5 minutes. Yes, and the bond auction. So, Chad, let's move on over to Philo, because we got 2 big events, and I don't want to have to move during them. So I'd rather do it ahead of them. Okay? So, get a membership. If not, go to wherever else you would like to go to. And that is all. So let's see. Wait, where is it? All right. We are good to go. All right, man, head on over. And yeah, regardless of what happens, I think it's just going to be an excuse to move and then see what they say. That's all. There's a lot of tension right now, and we don't really know which way it's going to go. But then again, that's kind of been the theme of the year. So you should be ready for that. But all right, baby, you're going to gift them to a welcome. But I will see you guys there, and